All right, go here. Welcome everybody to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta. Thank you so much for joining us. How's everybody doing today? All right. Well, we got about 7 minutes here before we get going. Yeah, this is going to be a fun matchup. Vikings, Packers, both teams coming off some big wins last week. Minnesota continuing to look impressive as the season goes. Their defense looks, dominant would probably be the right term. Um, Sam Darnold playing like an MVP candidate. Aaron Jones doing what Aaron Jones has done almost his entire career, maximizing the amount of opportunities that he does get. That hurts me to say, man. I'm not wearing a Packer jersey right now because the only two Packer jerseys I own are Aaron Rodgers and uh, Aaron Jones, and can be wearing a Jonesy jersey today. So we're rocking with the Wisconsin Badgers, local team here. So we're repping Wisconsin today. So while we're waiting, drop in the comments what is the one thing you're looking for. Obviously, we got the news yesterday that Jordan Love will be active and most likely will be starting in this game. So only missed 2 games after that gruesome looking injury. To be honest with you, I thought he was going to be gone for a lot longer. Thankfully, it looks like he is back at 100%. And especially knowing how careful Green Bay is just in general with injuries, the fact that he's ready to play means that he's probably going to be 100%, if not close, very close to it. Tack on with Green Bay would not be putting him in danger here, especially against how dominant this defense has looked. If they believe that he has a higher chance of re-injury than he would normally. So I like that he's going to be playing here. This is a game that the Packers do need. Obviously, if they win, whether win or lose, obviously this is not going to be dictating what the rest of the season will be. But it is going to be very interesting to see how Jordan Love looks. Last time we saw him, he was playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He did not look amazing, but to be fair, it looked like most players were not amazing on that field. They looked rough. They looked like they just could not seem to get their footing down. You saw Jalen Hurts slip a lot. You saw wide receivers from both teams just could not make cuts, could not seem to really get going outside of some short passes in the backfield. And then, even then, they were able to get, 3 or 4 steps into that before they were really able to really make some big plays. So, obviously, they're going to be playing in Green Bay. The field should be perfectly fine. And I think we're going to get a better representation of what Jordan is going to be like. Obviously, 2 missed games, but for the most part, he's been practicing. I think it was about leading up to the Titans game. He was actually practicing in full pads, and then obviously he has a full week of not only rest but as well as practice this week heading into this game. So there shouldn't be too much rust, in my opinion, with Jordan. Obviously, practice is very different than a live game, but the man is getting paid 55 million. He looked great, not only last season, but also even on the short amount of time that he played in the preseason. He looked like him and his wideouts were in sync. And for the most part, even in that Eagles game, his throws were solid. Outside of that interception, his throws were good. There was definitely some drops. I think there was 2 to Dontavian Wicks that if Wicks was able to haul it in, and granted Wicks did slip, before the ball got to him. So by the time the ball was basically, he was able to look up and really compose himself. That ball was basically like 2 feet away from his face. So those were some big drops. If he catches those are going for anywhere. I think it was like some of those catches were, or would be catches, would have been for 12 or more. And obviously, they could have changed the complexion of that game. That drive keeps on going, so forth and so forth. So, once again, I'm not too worried about Jordan getting injured or even playing seeming rusty. I think the biggest thing is how is he going to be able to handle not only the efficient coverage that Minnesota has been playing with the last couple of weeks, and how is he going to deal with the pressure? The Packers' offensive line has been solid so far this season. I think they've actually been good, especially the last 2 weeks. But they've been dealing with some penalty issues. Rasheed Walker, one of the most penalized offensive linemen in the NFL right now. On top of that, I think Elton Jenkins had a couple holding penalties last week. So just things to clean up. Who knows? Maybe having Jordan Love there will help clean that up. Make sure that these guys don't, um, especially when you're dealing with a new quarterback, especially a mobile quarterback like Malik. It's always strange when he starts to scramble, and you're not used to a guy that scrambles that often. Jordan, he can run, but he typically will stay in the pocket a lot more than Malik would. So when an offensive lineman is used to, oh, here's the play, this is what I need to do on this play, and then obviously it breaks down, so Malik will naturally try to run and buy more time or even find space to pick up some yardage. That's not something that these offensive linemen are so used to. So when they feel that defender pull away, their natural instinct is to, oh, I got to hold him a little bit, otherwise he's going to blow up my quarterback. So being able to have Jordan Love a little bit more of a traditional passer, and not only that, but a person that they have gotten used to playing with, from last year to almost the entire offseason through preseason and, leading up to week one. So I think we're going to see hopefully less of the penalty issues, especially for the offensive line, than we've seen in the last couple weeks. And hopefully they can focus more on this Minnesota pass rush that has been very, very tough to stop. Brian Flores has these guys playing, downfield. Hey, make your decision and just go with it. And there was a video that I saw earlier this week. I'm gonna have to drop the guy's channel here at some point, but he was just making a great job, doing a great demonstration of how Flores has been using the basic what is called um, it's uh, it's 4-man coverage, uh, but he's using it more as basically they're reading the slot receiver, which is receiver number 2, and whatever that receiver does, if he goes out in the flat, then the options are either the corner leaves his outside man, the wide receiver, and he drops down to take care of the flat, and then the safety moves over the top to take away that top. Whether it's a go route or even a deep in or out, he'll have leverage against that, and the safety will take away that big gain. And then obviously, if the slot receiver goes deep, it's the safety's job to keep him from blowing the top off the defense. He has the leverage, especially the way that they're pre-lined up. It is designed for that slot receiver. If they go deep, the safety has outside leverage and is going to be able to minimize hopefully any threat that slot receiver has if he goes deep. And then the other way around, if they go in, then the middle linebackers are supposed to basically kind of get in his way, make sure that he kind of gets misdirected, slows things down, and then he passes it on to either the other linebacker that is next to him or potentially the safety that is coming across, especially those deep crossing routes that Green Bay loves to do. So those are the things that, especially in those obvious passing downs when you have 4 or potentially 5 wide receivers on the field, you're going to want to look for those and see how Matt Lafleur schemes that up to get these guys open. And on top of that, even when they're in that position, when Flores is doing those, basically what I think it's called palms defense. Basically, it's a once again the safeties go deep, corners have the option to go deep as well, making basically an umbrella of four coverage. But once again, they are susceptible to the flats. You have to get that ball out quickly, and that's going to be what something that Jordan does. But on top of that, the thing that is making that coverage so difficult for offenses right now is not just the coverage and the way that Flores has these guys coached up to read the slot, whatever he does, this is what you do, and this is what the other guys do. It's very simple. Make basically one read, and then that will dictate what you do and make and minimize any damage. But on top of that, Flores loves to bring the blitz on those types of plays. So it doesn't. So not only are you not only is the back end of the defense doing great in coverage, but on top of that, the front seven is putting pressure on the quarterback to make a quick decision and to not just let those routes develop deep. So those are going to be things to look for. I'm hoping the Packers can get their running game going here with Jacobs and Wilson. That's going to be the best thing to do in minimizing this defense being able to blitz and get to the quarterback. Obviously, that's not just for this game, but that's obviously helpful for any time. But that is going to be a big, important impact. If the Packers cannot run, which they've proven they can run against defenses so far, but if they cannot run, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and there's going to be more pressure on Jordan to kind of take over the game in his first game back from injury, which shouldn't be too crazy. We've seen Jordan do that, but it's going to be a little bit more pressure on him, and especially the way that this offensive line has performed. They played well, but once again, that's when those penalties can kind of come into play again. If there's a lot of pressure, the last thing they want to do is allow Jordan to get hit, especially in his first game back. So, all right. It looks like my channel is not showing the Packer game, which is unfortunate here. And this is not going to be fun. We got to figure out here. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, I was in the wrong channel. It was saying Fox, and then they just switched over to something completely different. So, it's going to be third down, third and 10 actually here. So, great coverage by Green Bay and nearly intercepted. Yeah, Green Bay's defense has just been ball hogs. Already 7 interceptions, which matches what they did last year. 12:43 on the clock. Third and 10, ball at the 45. And it looks like there's going to be a flag on the Vikings, and that's going to move them back 5 yards. It's going to be a long third down here. Once again, if you're just joining us here, my name is Dave. I am not a coach. Please make sure you leave a like, subscribe, make sure that bell is turned on so you know when I'm going live here. We're going to be doing every possible game that we possibly can, all the primetime games, all the Packer games, things like that. So Darnold, drop back, empty set, finds a man wide open, broken coverage. It's going to be a big first down. It's going to go for at least 25, if not 30 yards. It looked like there was Eric Stokes on the coverage there. Not a great replay camera angle. It was just in the deep crossing route right there. Green Bay's defense had an opportunity here, and man, could not get off the field. Very soft, very soft. Very little pressure on Darnold. It seemed like he had all day to throw. All right, snap. Ball is at the 29 of Green Bay and broken coverage, and it's gonna be a big touchdown to Jordan Addison. Completely just got behind everybody on that defense. And I think there's definitely gonna be some issues in the secondary from what I remember. I don't think Jair is playing in this game as well as Carrington Valentine. So right there, 2 of your top 3 corners. Yep. Just a nice little stop and go route, and unfortunately, the is that the safety? Number 26, he just completely bit on the stop and go route, and just a quick, easy throw and catch right there. That's gonna be a big touchdown for Minnesota. It's gonna be 7-2 nothing to start the game off. Once again, man, Sam Darnold, I think he was coming into this week leading the NFL in touchdowns. Well, he just got another one here. I think that is 9 for him. And that's gonna be the big thing too. This this defense of Minnesota is susceptible the way that the amount of pressure and the type of coverage that they like. Just like any coverage in the NFL, they can there's gonna be gaps, but the big thing that they are doing is their offense is putting up points, which once again puts pressure on the other team's offense to throw the ball instead of run it. And that plays exactly into what Brian Flores loves to do. What we were talking about with the cover 4, making it easy for the defense, for the safeties as well as the corners to read. If you have a man in the flat, corner comes down, safety over the top, making sure that they minimize the damage if the defense or if the offense chooses to pass the ball deep, minimizes big plays, and is going to be able to get the defense in a better position to get a 3 and out or to make sure that they minimize the damage to maybe only a field goal. On top of that, when the Minnesota's offense continues to put up points, sorry, there's a weird thing on the TV here. And once again, when you're able to put pressure on the other team's offense, it makes them one dimensional. It plays right into what Brian Flores loves to do. And on top of the cover 4, he loves to put pressure on the quarterback, get the sacks, get turnovers, and make that quarterback get the ball out quickly and force mistakes on the play. All right, the kickoff is off and it goes into the end zone. Green Bay will start out at their 30, and it is Jordan Love trotting onto the field for the first time since week 1. All right. It looks like we have all right, it looks like we got a tight bunch to the right. We got Watson in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Jacobs, who is going to get about 8 to 9 yards on the first play. And Jacobs has to leave the game. He lost his shoe on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 2, 11:15 on the clock. Luke Musgrave in motion. Jordan has a little bit of time, gets it out to Musgrave, who will get the first down after a gain of about 4 on the play. Packers offensive line doing a good job on these stunts that Minnesota loves to run. You got a couple defenders looping in and out, overlapping on each other, forcing and making sure that what basically the design is to make sure that that offensive lineman or one of them loops over, leaving a massive gap for the other guy that is overlapping. But Green Bay did a great job of keeping it tight, keeping their man, and not getting distracted by the motion. And they hand it off to Wilson up the middle in the shotgun. He's going to gain up about 3 on the play. 10-10 on the clock. 2nd and 7 for Green Bay here. There's going to be a fun battle between Brian Flores and Matt Lafleur. I think two of the best guys that at what they do. And it's going to be a nice handoff to Jacobs up the middle. Gets a big first down and a lot more. That is going to be a huge gain of about, oh man, that must have been at least 14 yards on the play. Ball was spotted at the 15, and before the play, got across the 50 and all the way past the 43 of Minnesota. So Jacobs in the backfield, Jordan in the shotgun, bunch to the right. They toss it to Reed, who's going to be able to get down to about the 39 of Minnesota. Gain of about 4 on the play. Under 9 minutes to play. So far, the Packers have over 600 rushing yards through 3 games. That is the 5th most in their history. Jordan scanning the field, finds an open receiver. That is Reed for a huge gain. He's going to be down just short of the 15-yard line, I believe. Oh, I'm loving this offense right now. It already looks different from what they've been doing the last couple of weeks. Nice high and low concept. Watson up the seam, and then Reed just loops in behind him on a nice little crossing route, kind of slash in route, deep in route. And they are down at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock at 7:50. Tucker Kraft in motion is just barely able to get that ball before it hits the ground. Unfortunately, not able to get a whole lot of yardage after having to adjust to a low pass. Van Ginkel actually was able to take Kraft down there with a hand to his calf. So it was a gain of 1 on the play. Ball's going to be at the 15. 2nd and 9. Kraft in motion. Jordan under center. Jacobs in the backfield. Luke Musgrave in motion. They hand it off to Jacobs, who is going to get only about a yard on the play. So it'll be a 3rd and 8 for the Packers here. Clock keeps rolling. Under 7 minutes here in the first quarter. Packers they are getting to the ball quickly, and Minnesota is going to have to burn, it looks like, their first timeout of the half. Yeah, it looks like the Packers caught Minnesota trying to get a couple substitutes in, and Kevin Connell is forced to use his first timeout of the half with 6:56 left in the first quarter. Yeah, Jordan Love, man, he looks good in the pocket, man. He is bouncing, is keeping his feet. Hmm. It'll be 3rd and 8, 3 receiver to the right. Jacobs motions, and it's gonna be a penalty on the Packers. It looks like Elton Jenkins moved. It's gonna be a false start. That is not what you want. It was already a long 3rd down. It's gonna be a lot longer. It's gonna be even longer here. So 3rd and about 13. Play will move him back to the 19-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Reed motioning over. Jordan making the check. And Dontavian Wicks had the ball in his hands. It was a good throw by Love, but unfortunately, Wicks could not haul it in. It just falls to the ground. And Wicks had a step on him. If he holds on to that ball, that is at least going to be close to a first down, if not more. And Love beautiful throw in between two defenders. But again, it was a little low. But Wicks, I mean, that was a about uh, waist level, and the kick, unfortunately, is not going to be any good by Narvison, and it doinks right off the right upright. And the kicking woes for Green Bay here, man. And I don't know what was going on with that snap, that hold. That ball looked ugly immediately. Yeah, that's going to be tough right there. Yeah, the drive was, I mean, it looked good. It was looking good. And then unfortunately, the penalties on the offensive line kind of came back to bite them there again. And it's something that we've seen now 3 consecutive weeks, even with the wins in week 2 and 3. You're seeing that the Packers offense, once they get inside the 20, they are struggling to get consistent touchdowns. You saw it in the second half against Tennessee. They were able to drive down, and then they were settling for field goals or, the penalties unfortunately would force them out of field goal range as well. On top of that, against the Colts, once again, second half, struggling to get into the end zone. You had that fumble with Jacobs at the 1-yard line. And even with the Eagles, you would see that quite a bit there as well, when they had to settle for a couple field goals once they had the ball past midfield, past the 40, and things like that. So it's gonna be something that to look for, not only in this game but moving forward. Is that just early season issues, or is this going to be a season long thing when once they get into the red zone, they just can't seem to punch it in? Minnesota will start their next drive from the 27 after the missed field goal by Narvison. And they hand it off to Jones, who breaks a tackle, breaks another, and it's going to be all the way down, just 1 yard shy of the 44. Oh no, Jones he's doing the brushing it off. And on top of that, there's going to be a face mask penalty on the Packers defense. So tack an extra 15 yards at the end of that already massive run by Aaron Jones. Yep. Straight up face mask right there. Already 2 penalties for 20 yards for Green Bay. Minnesota gets the ball at the 41. Darnold in the eye. Hands it off to Jonesy, who is going to be stopped after maybe a gain of 1. And it was McDuffie who was the first player there. Second and 9, ball at the 40. Minnesota in shotgun, Jones in the backfield. Tight end in motion. Little bit of pressure, and it's going to be a quick throw to the right to Addison, who's going to gain maybe about 5 yards on the play, but there is a flag on the field. And it's going to be on Green Bay again. It's going to be offsides on Devontae Wyatt. 5:41 left in the first quarter. It'll be 2nd and 5. Minnesota at Green Bay's 35. Green Bay sends a blitz. It does not get there in time. They hand it off to Jonesy, who is going to get maybe 2.5 yards on the play. So it'll be a 3rd and short for Minnesota here. And Jones lowered his shoulder and met McDuffie, and McDuffie did not move. And after that, the cavalry came in to bring Jonesy down after a minimal gain. Man, McDuffie, man, he's not always the most explosive linebacker, man, but dang, dude, that dude can tackle. All right, 4 receiver set, shotgun, Jonesy in the backfield. Darnold needs to move, and he's got room to run, and he will get way past the first down marker. It's going to be probably inside the 25. That is going to be a first down for Minnesota. Not a good job by the Packers defensive line. Way too aggressive. Very undisciplined in their gap. First and 10, ball at the 23. Darnold under center, 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Play clock is running low, and it looks like Minnesota is going to have to use. Oh no. Looks like they're going to take a delay of game on the play. So moving back 5 yards, it'll be 1st and 15. Unfortunately, the way that this Vikings offense has been playing, it might not be that big of a deal. All right, receiver in motion. Darnold in the shotgun, has time, scanning the field, finds, is that Jefferson for a relatively small gain, maybe 4 yards on the play. They're saying 5, so he got the penalty yardage back. Darnold so far 4 of 5, 77 yards and a touchdown. Darnold in the shotgun, throws it out quickly to the screen, and the running back is going to be about a yard short. And that was to number 32, Chandler. And Lucas Van Ness, man, he was able to run him down. Otherwise, that was going to be a first down. So 3rd and 1 for Minnesota here. Shotgun, 3 receivers to the right. Darnold has time, and it's going to be a penalty on Eric Stokes. He was in coverage with Jefferson, and as much as I hate it, man, that was definitely some pass interference on Stokes. He has not looked good this season. He hasn't been as bad as he was when he played a little bit last season, but he has not looked good. Eric Stokes is really, really struggling here this season. So that'll be a penalty on the Packers, and it gives Minnesota a first down at the 3-yard line. Darnold scanning the field and is not going to be able to get the ball to Jefferson. And there's another flag on the field. Based on Jefferson's reaction, it's going to be on Green Bay, and it is. It's going to be holding on Keyshawn. So move that ball closer to the goal line. It'll be a first and very, very short. First and goal. There's a little bit of a flop on that one, but Keyshawn has always been aggressive. First and goal at about the inside the 2. It's going to be a toss to Jones, who is not going to be able to get much of anything, and it looks like he's going to be down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and goal for Minnesota. Great job by the offensive line. It's a nice little toss to the left, and Minnesota just kept on stretching that ball out. Jonesy cut it inside to try to make a decisive decision, and got nothing on that one. I expect another play action here, and it is. Darnold has time, and he's going to get it to his tight end, who's running a nice little kind of like a sluggo route all the way, basically basically kind of like a yard away from the line of scrimmage. Sorry, at the end zone line there. Yeah, the tight end. The motion was everything was going to the right. Tight end just slipped underneath the coverage to the left, and big touchdown right there. Darnold's 2 touchdowns in 2 drives here with a minute 37 left in the game. Minnesota's extra point is good, and the score is 14-0 Minnesota here in Green Bay. And what's going on, C Storm? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Heck yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, you got to get those errands done. Life does not stop even on Sunday, man. But glad to have you here, man. How you doing? Yeah, unfortunately, so far this game is not going the Packers' way. It was looking good on their first offensive drive, and then unfortunately penalties got in the way of that, and then of course the miss by Narvison banging up off the upright there. Right now we are in commercial break. Not missing anything right now. Yeah, and I think obviously the missing Jair and Karen Valentine is playing a huge factor in Minnesota's choice to pass it here. Because the Packers right now, they're playing the run very well. Obviously, they gave up that big run to Jones. That was the first play of this drive. But outside of that, Jones has not really been able to get massive amounts of yardage. No, they've been holding him to, anywhere between nothing to maybe 2 or 3 yards at a time. But the pass coverage right now, they are suffering. And unfortunately, their number one corner is Eric Stokes, who has not looked very good this season. He's been okay, but when it comes to going up against the number one wideout, you saw it in Philly. Sorry, not in Philly, but against Philly. You could tell. And granted, we were kind of chalking. I was chalking it up to maybe the field. But then over the last couple of weeks, it just seems to be the same kind of stuff with Eric Stokes. He seems to be able to stay with his man, but he's not able to locate the ball. He plays far too aggressively, especially with these down the field. Like it's just the way it is with the rules, man. You cannot get your. It's one thing to get your hands on the guy, but if you're not looking for the ball and you're holding, it's going to be called every time. And Minnesota kicks it off, and it's going to be in the end zone and back out of the end zone. So Green Bay will start their second drive at the 30 here. All right, there's going to be 137 left in the first half. Sorry, the first quarter. Jordan in the shotgun hands it off to Jacobs, who is struggling to find a hole, and unfortunately, he's going to go down for a loss of about 2 on the play. And that was linebacker number 51, Cashman, who was able to bring Jacobs down behind the line of scrimmage. I'm surprised we haven't seen Wilson a whole lot. I think he only came in for that one play when Jacobs lost his shoe. And Jordan under center takes the snap, has a little bit of time, gets the ball out to his tight end, Luke Musgrave. And it's going to be a gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. So it'll be third and medium, and third and 7. And Jordan, man, he is really bouncing around. Had his offensive lineman knocked into him when he was making that throw. Ooh. And he tried to get the ball to Watson, and unfortunately, Watson, he just took I didn't want to say a shot. He just fell. Had a guy fall on his knee, and that did not look good, man. And Watson is down on the ground. Oh man, I don't know. Oh no, that is not good. To be honest with you, I don't even know if it was an interception. I do not know. I'm more worried about Watson right now because that was not a pretty sight. The way his knee, basically his ankle, was stuck behind the tackler, and then Watson basically just fell over the top of him, but his knee was still pinned to the ground. It did not look good, man. Very similar to the way Jordan ended up getting hurt, but it felt like a little bit worse. Just the way that, man, I don't know. That looked gross. I hope it's just a hyperextension, man, because man, Watson, man, he was looking so healthy, man. Finally got the hamstrings, checked this off season. He was looking healthy. No injuries, no major injuries really throughout the off season. Went through the preseason without anything, and he was just starting to really get going. And all I can just hope, man, like not even as a player, man. I just hope he's fine, man. He's battled injuries ever since he got into the league. His rookie year was almost completely wiped out because of an injury. He obviously had that big, stretch there. I think it was in November where he was just dominating touchdown after touchdown. And then last year you thought he was going to do the same. Dealt with injuries to start the year, came back, looked great. Then he had the hamstring injury again, and yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the replay if it was a interception. It was not a great decision by Jordan. There's about 4 guys that could have easily picked it up. I mean, granted, he got the ball through, and I think it hit Watson in the hands, but I mean, there was a lot of guys there. There was a lot of hands in there. It was gonna be almost an impossible catch by Watson anyway. With those, man, I think Jordan you just gotta throw it away, man. Throw it away, dump it down. Give one of your guys a chance to maybe make a man miss. Good news is Watson is walking on by himself off the field. He's not being held up by anybody. And he seems more disappointed instead of sad, hopefully. So, anyway, hoping he's okay. And it was an interception, unfortunately, because Minnesota has the ball here and fakes the handoff to Jones, gets the ball out quickly. His tight end breaks a tackle, and he's going to be close to a first down. That is to number 86. Trying to remember, see his name here, but it was to a tight end. Bad tackling by Green Bay's defense there. 2nd and 2, ball at about the 38. And before they can snap it, it's going to be the end of the first quarter, with the score being Green Bay 0, Minnesota 14, and they are driving down the field here. Well, it was encouraging to see Watson walk off the field by himself, you know, getting some love from his teammates, a couple high fives on the way to the sidelines. So, And we are in commercial break, so we're not missing anything here. I'm just trying to find some info on Watson. Granted, it just happened, so odds are probably not much, but kind of want to see if he's still on the sidelines or did he have to go into the locker room. All right, we are back. It is 2nd and 1. Darnold in the shotgun, two receivers to the right. Jonesy in the backfield, handed off to Jones, who is going to get the first down, but not a whole lot more. Gain of about 2 to 3. And unfortunately, Watson is being carted to the locker room. First and 10, ball at the 34. Has a receiver open. That's going to get to number 11, Sheffield. Gain of 8 on the play. 14-15 in the second quarter. Darnold 8 of 9 for over 105 yards and 2 touchdowns already. Toss to Jones, and he will get the first down, gain of about 4 on the play. And that's a play you saw here in Green Bay a lot when Jonesy was getting the ball. That toss, allowing him to kind of gain some momentum, let the holes open up, and then just turn up field and get as much yardage as he can. Darnold in under center, two receivers to the right, fakes the pass, hands it off to Jones, who is going to get maybe 2 or 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Vikings. Ball is just inside the 20. Shotgun, two receivers in the backfield. Gets the ball out to Jonesy in the screen, and Jonesy will have a first down and more. He is brought down by Quay Walker after getting the first down. Gain of about 10 or 11 on the play. Minnesota is going to be down to about the 7-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Minnesota. A little over 12 minutes left in this quarter. Darnold under center. Two receivers to his left, one receiver to his right. Receiver in motion. And it looks like Minnesota is going to use a timeout here. That'll be their second of the half. Stops the clock at 11:54 with the ball at the 7-yard line. Darnold under center, wide receiver in motion, fakes the handoff to Jonesy, but gets it to this wide receiver who breaks the tackle and is in the end zone. And Minnesota is off and running here. That was to Addison on the end around. Man, it is not looking good here. And Keyshawn Nixon was the man who was trying to bring him down, could not. And Addison just sprinted to that first pylon. And Minnesota's extra point is good with 11:50 in the half. Minnesota is up 21-0 against the Green Bay Packers here at Lambeau Field. And similar to what they've done, what they did last week against the Texans and what they did and I think in week 1, man, Minnesota is taking a big lead in the first half, and this is when that Vikings defense starts to really, really get tough, man, because now you're going to be in more obvious passing situations. You're going to go to that. They're going to go to that patent fourth coverage there. Going to force you either to dump it down short or try to hold on to the ball, and that's when they're going to start sending the blitz, and they're going to really start going to try to get to Jordan Love and bring him down, or at least force him into some tough decisions. All right, well, we have a commercial break here. Let's look at some scores around the league. We have New Orleans leading Atlanta 14-10. Atlanta just scored a field goal. Denver against the Jets is still 0-0 at the end of the first quarter with 13:59 left in the half. Tampa Bay is up 21-0 against Philly. So Tampa Bay looking like they're bouncing back after a tough loss last week. Cincinnati in Carolina is tied up at 7-7 with a little over 9.5 minutes left in the second quarter. With about 9:30 in the half, the Texans are actually trailing the Jaguars 10-7. And right now, with a little over 12.5 minutes left in the in the second quarter, Indianapolis is leading Pittsburgh 17-0. So we got some tight games, and we also got some blowouts. And unfortunately, right now we are also watching a blowout here in Lambeau Field. And the kick is in the end zone, out the back of the end zone. The offense will get the ball at the 30 here. Yeah, no, for sure, Steve Storm, man. There is a lot going on here. Oh, Richardson is out? Oh, boy. Man, this Flacco, man, he's leading the 17-point lead here, man. That guy, it seems like as he gets older, man, he just gets better and better. Texans are driving. That's gonna be good. That should be a good game, man. The Strouds, they really need to bounce back after that huge loss against Minnesota last week. Jordan, 1st and 10 in the shotgun. Little orbit by Reed. He gets the ball out to Dobbs, who is going to be down at about midfield after a big gain. Good throw by Jordan over the middle. And Dobbs came up and attacked that ball. He did not wait for it. Just a great job. Nice little inside route, deep inside route by by Romeo. Yeah, I think they had him this offseason because Cleveland apparently didn't want him. They're like, no, we'll go with Mr. Crab Legs. Gotcha, gotcha. You got the Texans there. I mean, at least right now, that should be a more interesting game. It's a lot closer. And the handoff to Wilson, and it goes nowhere. Loss of one on the play. Yeah, hopefully that Jags game, Texans and Jags game, continues to be entertaining here. And Jordan gets the ball out quickly to Reed, who breaks a tackle, and it's going to gain of about 8 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Packers. Yeah, it is going to be a huge drive. The way that unfortunately, I don't think Green Bay's defense is going to be doing a whole lot today. So I think the Packers really starting need to get scoring some points here because if they give the ball back to Minnesota, it could be this is going to get out of hand even before halftime. Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, they already look. I don't even know if Flacco would have been able to save the way this team is playing, and it's going to be a deep pass to Reed, and he's going to go down. That should be PI, and it is. It's a little bit of a late flag, but we'll take it. That's going to be PI on the Minnesota Vikings. So it's going to be a huge gain penalty wise for the Packers offense. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know how, but it seems like the Browns are even worse than they were last year. I don't think they lost really any major guys. I mean, the only guy that I can think of that they ended up losing was Joe Flacco. So yeah, that'd be hilarious to see Joe Flacco take the Colts to the playoffs. I would feel bad for Richardson, but that'd be hilarious. And they hand it off to is that Wilson? He's going to gain of about 2 yards on the play, maybe three. All right. Clock is running. Going to be 9:10. Jordan in the shotgun. Bunch to his right. Wilson in the backfield to his left. Minnesota is showing blitz. They do. They send five. Jordan has to scramble. And unfortunately, he's going to be taken down for a loss. It's going to be a huge sack there on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and 20. I mean, at this point, do you even try to kick it? I mean, I'm not saying Narvison's going to miss it, but I mean, all of his misses that come from around the 40 to 45 range here, and this would be way past that. This would be about 49. Three receivers to the right. Jordan has a little bit of time. He's going to get it to his tight end, Tucker Kraft, and unfortunately, the safety is going to be able to barrel down on him and force an incomplete pass. That was a close one. That one could have been picked off for a big one. And I mean, it wasn't. I mean, yeah. I mean, that was gonna be a tough catch for Kraft, man. He got hit just as the ball got there. Just a great job by Minnesota, man. And Narvison is out there for a 49-yarder. Must be windy today. Some of these kicks have been kind of going off, and Narvison misses another one. And the rookie is having a rough game, man. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Right on, right on. Well, that's good that he's it's not a huge injury, man. The kid's just so talented, man. He just needs to be able to stay healthy on the field. I mean, like, even that last throw when he was going up against Green Bay, where he just chucked it deep, it was a kinda Hail Mary to that he threw that from, like, the 30-yard line, maybe 35-yard line, and it was short of the end zone, but not by a whole lot. I mean, he chucked that thing, like, 70 yards, 75 yards, maybe. So, yeah. Obviously, he's crazy athletic as well, Richardson. Can scramble, can run. He just needs to you can tell a lot of it is just mechanics. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, there you go. Houston did get their touchdown. Nice. Yeah, man, that once again, that game looks like it should be pretty solid. Commercial break, so we're not missing anything here. Should be popping up here pretty soon. So 8:04 left in the half. Green Bay unfortunately missing another field goal from their rookie kicker. Minnesota will start with the ball at the 39, fakes the handoff. Darnold has plenty of time and just gonna dirt the ball down there. Try to get the ball to Addison. And Darnold, man, he had options. There's some guys way down the field that just past the coverage. Gets the handoff. It's going to be, I believe, to Chandler. I don't think Jones is in the game right now. Yep, gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. Minnesota, right now they're oddly conservative with their first 2 plays. Darnold in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right. Jefferson in motion, gets the ball out, and it's going to be incomplete. Unfortunately, Darnold overthrew a wide open receiver down the boundary. It was a good play design. Jefferson motioned out, so he was the most outside receiver, and then he kind of ran basically 3 or 4 yards, and then came back, forcing the corner to crash down on him, and that left Powell basically running a corner route down the sidelines wide open, and Darnold just missed him. He overthrew him by like 2 or 3 yards. And Minnesota is going to punt for the first time in the game, and it's going to be an amazing punt. And they get a nice bounce, and it's going to be down at the 5. So Green Bay will get the ball with their by far their worst field position in this game. So far, I have not seen Watson back in this game. Obviously, he was carted off to get into the locker room. So odds are we probably won't get a whole lot of information until about halftime. All right, there's decent news here with Christian Watson. One, he's questionable to return for this game, but it is not a knee injury; it is a ankle injury. Granted, that doesn't mean he's going to come back not only in this game or even next couple of weeks, but the fact that it is not a knee injury is is a good sign, and the fact that he was able to walk off the field initially, so it's not anything severe enough for him not to be able to walk, but most likely an ankle injury could be could be out or limited for the next handful of weeks. And if you're just joining us, once again, my name is Dave. We're going to be streaming games, as many games as we possibly can throughout the year. Packer games, every primetime game, any game that we can go, we're gonna do it. We're gonna have some fun, and we're just gonna enjoy football, man. We don't get this all year round, man. So when it's here, just gotta enjoy it. First and 10, ball at the 6 yard line. Jordan in the pistol hands it off to Jacobs, who cuts up in the middle of the field, and is gonna be a nice gain of about 6 yards. Clock is under 7 minutes in the half here. Quick ball out to Romeo Dobbs down the sideline. It's going to be a nice gain for a first down. Nice little out route by Romeo. Jordan in the shotgun. Nice little tight formation here. Blitz gets the ball out, goes through one receiver's hands, bounces off another, and it is picked off by Minnesota. And he's going to be brought down all the way inside the 5. And that is Jordan Love's second interception of the game, and the second one that hit his wide receiver first before getting into the hands of a Minnesota Viking. He's trying to get the ball to look like Luke Musgrave, potentially. If it was way too high, and if it wasn't, Luke made a huge mistake trying to get that ball because Romeo seemed to have a better opportunity at it, and I think that's who he was trying to get the ball to. And even then, unfortunately, Romeo wasn't able to haul it in because the ball was definitely not. I mean, Luke Musgrave had glanced off his hands, and Romeo wasn't able to haul it in, and huge interception. First and goal at inside the 5. Handed off to Jones, who does not get a whole lot of yardage. Might have gotten 1 yard on the play, and it's going to be a holding penalty on Minnesota, so that moves the ball back about 10 yards. and Romeo slamming his helmet on the sideline in frustration. Yeah, it has not been a good game here, man. This is definitely not what you wanted. It's one thing to lose, it's another thing to kinda to get beat here. Oh, heck yeah, man. College football games. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it to a Badger game this year. That'd be fun. And it is a throw down the sidelines to Jefferson, and he is gonna be in the end zone for another Minnesota touchdown. That was just an amazing throw by Darnold, man. That was incredibly tight coverage by Nixon. Holy cow. I don't even know how that ball got in there. Oh, Jesus. Just literally just inches behind Nixon's head. Jesus. Woo. This is a rough game. And the extra point is good with 5:28 left in the half. It is Minnesota 28, Green Bay nothing here at Lambeau Field. Ooh, rough. Yeah, man. I'm right there with you, man. Yeah, the only reason man, it's just this defense, man. They're missing Jair, they're missing Valentine. Their secondary is struggling, but and right now, man, they're not getting enough pressure on Darnold either. It's definitely not what I was expecting or hoping in this game. All right, well, we're at a stopping point here. Should be coming up here pretty soon. We have the Jets leading Denver by 3 points with 8:18 left in the half. That Atlanta and New Orleans game is looking good. 17-14 Atlanta. Tampa Bay is up 24 to nothing over Philly. Cincy has a 7-point lead with the first half coming to a close here. Looks like Jacksonville was able to get a field goal, so it is a 13-14 game against Houston. Indy still has their 17-point lead, and Chicago has a touchdown and a 1-point lead over the Rams with 2 minutes left in the half. So we got some good games here outside of the Indianapolis Pittsburgh game, Tampa Bay and Philly, and then obviously Packers and Minnesota. Every other game is basically within a possession. So Jordan is 7 of 11, 69 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And Sam is 10-13 for 130, 3 touchdowns in this game. Unless unless another quarterback has about 5 or more touchdowns here, it looks like Sam Darnold might continue to lead the league in passing touchdowns heading into week 5, which is crazy. And they're showing Matt Lafleur in the backfield. Oh, Jordan is scrambling, and tries to get the ball out, and is going to be incomplete. CBS's cameras did not get back to the play in time. So by the time they showed what was happening, Jordan was already scrambling for to try to buy some time here. So not a great job by CBS. I don't know what they were showing. I don't need to see Matt Lafleur looking at his play call sheet. And Jordan did take a hit there on his legs while he was scrambling, and he looks fine. So it's a good sign. 2nd and 10, ball out. Try to get it to the screen, and unfortunately, it's going to be batted down at the line. 5:18 left in the half here. And Minnesota, man, they're going to start sending people down, man. They're going to start sending people now. If Green Bay cannot get back into this game, I think the question is, do you keep Jordan there or do you put in Malik? Read in motion, Jordan in shotgun. Has a little bit of time, good protection, gets the ball out to Tucker Kraft, who will run for a huge first down. Great work by Tucker, man. Caught that pass about 5 or 6 yards short. Of the first down, and then just turned up field, broke a couple tackles, and made the most out of that play. He was able to get the ball out across the 50 down to the 49. 1st and 10. Jordan in shotgun, handed off to Wilson, who stopped initially and is going to be able to get inside the 45 of Minnesota down to about the 44. Nice gain of 5 by Emmanuel Wilson, who right now seems to be the more efficient back of the two. Jordan in shotgun, tight ends to his right. He gets it out to Luke Musgrave, who will be close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. So it'll be 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, ball at the 40. Jordan under center. Hands it off to Wilson, but it's going to be a false start. I think Wilson jumped the gun on that one. He basically fell forward. That's going to be a huge, huge penalty. It'll be 3rd and 6. The ball is going to be at the 45-yard line. Jordan in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his left. It looks like Minnesota's going to be sending a blitz here. They don't. They send 4. Jordan gets out of the pocket, breaks a tackle, and oh no. Jordan did not get up initially. He grabbed his knee and he is up, but he is kind of walking very gingerly on that leg. Hopefully, it's just a scare. And he scrambled for a first down, but there was a penalty. It looks like it's going to be on Minnesota. So either way, it was hands to the face by Minnesota. There's a lot of penalties in this game. Green Bay 6 for 44, Minnesota 5 for 45. And it'll be first and 10, ball at about the 39-yard line. Jordan in the pistol, fakes the handoff, has a little bit of time, and he's going to get it down to Romeo Dobbs on a similar, nice, like deep dig route there. And the clock is heading into 2:10, almost a 2-minute warning. The Packers are hurrying to the line, trying to get one more play before they snap the ball, but there is a flag on the field. What's it going to be here? Looks like Minnesota is challenging whether Romeo was able to control the ball all the way down to the ground. I mean, he definitely fell on it, but I don't. You see the ball move, but once again, they've always said that just because the ball moves does not necessarily mean that it was not in his control. It's going to be a better angle here. Tucks it in. I mean, it's going to be close. I just don't see anywhere where Romeo does not have his hands on the ball. Let's see what the call is. And they're overturning it, saying it's an incomplete pass. Wow. I don't know, man. And I'm not looking at it through the eyes of a Green Bay Packer fan. I really do not believe that there was enough to say he for sure did not have the ball in his possession. His hands never left the ball. The ball did not, it didn't hit the ground, it didn't bounce. He did not see it really move. I don't know. It'll be, unfortunately, second and 10. Ball is still going to be at the 34. Wicks in motion, gets the ball out to Wicks, who was running a late crossing route there. And they're saying he dropped the ball, and that should be a catch. And if I'm Matt Lafleur, I am challenging that one. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Yeah, that back angle does show the tip of the ball. I'm just trying to see if it hits the ground first. Yeah, this one's close too, man. And once again, the play on the field was called an incomplete pass, so there needs to be enough evidence to overturn it. That's unfortunately going to be the tough part because of the wording. Let me see here. And the call is gonna stand. So another near completion that would have given Green Bay not only a first down, but a huge yardage. Would have gotten them inside the red zone. So back to back first Minnesota challenges, and they were able to overturn the call on the field to an incomplete pass. And then now Matt Lafleur challenges and does not make it. Minnesota is showing blitz, 3 receivers to the right. Jordan gets hit as he throws and tries to get the ball to Wicks, and it's going to be incomplete. It's going to be a 4th down. And it is just not been Green Bay's day today, man. They are struggling. And Zach Tom just got destroyed on that play. Thankfully, the defender didn't drive Jordan into the ground here, just kind of hit him and then went off. I think Matt LaFleur is hoping for a PI call there, but I don't think he's going to get it. And the Packers are staying on the field. I mean, why not? 2:11 in the half, you're down 28-0. Jordan has time, looking to find a man, and he is going to go into the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete, nearly picked off as well. Trying to get the ball to Bo Melton in the end zone. And Minnesota is going to take over on downs at the 34 with 2:03 left in the half. So they still have a timeout and a 2-minute warning. And Bo Melton just not being able to jump up and get it. He barely was able to get off the ground, just enough to make sure that Jordan Love didn't throw his 3rd interception of the half. Shotgun from Minnesota, handoff to Chandler, who will get about 4 yards on the play. And this will take us to the 2-minute warning with a minute 59 left in the half. Oh, sorry. Got to look at the chat too. Holy cow. Sea Storm. Ooh, oh, there we go. Yeah. What'd they do here? Da, 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 da. My ESPN app is not refreshing. So I have to do it manually here. It's killing me. It's killing me. All right. 3 seconds left. It looks like they did kick that field goal, man. So Texans took a 4-point lead with just 3 seconds left in the half. Jordan has thrown 2 interceptions in this game. He almost threw a 3rd on that last play in the end zone, trying to get it to Bo Melton. Yeah, his first interception was when he basically was able to just throw it in between basically almost 3 defenders to Watson, but fortunately Watson could not hold on to it. He got hit just as the ball got there. Ball popped up in the air, landed on a Viking who was able to intercept it. And then the second one was trying to get it to, I think he was trying to get it actually to Dobbs, who was running a deep in about 10 to 15 yards down the field. But unfortunately, Luke Musgrave, the tight end who was running a small, uh, a short kind of like stick route, he thought the ball was to him. So he put his hands up and the ball glanced off his hands. Then they almost dropped into Romeo's hands, but then that bounced off and then into a defender's hands. So literally his second interception went through 2 Packers and into the Minnesota's hands. So yeah. Yeah, none of them were necessarily egregious on Jordan, but still 2 picks is still 2 picks, man. It's been a rough one for the Packers defense and their offense today. And I gotta give it to the Packers defense though. They have not really allowed Minnesota to just run all over them at this point. Minnesota has 13 carries for 57 yards, averaging a little over, just a little under 4.5 yards. So not great, but snap, 2nd and 7. Darnold has time, gets the ball out to his tight end, who is going to be about a yard short, maybe, of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Minnesota. You could just tell that the Packers defense, especially their secondary, man, they are struggling without Jair and Valentine. And Darnold has time. Try to get the ball to number 4 there, and that is going to be an incomplete pass. That was trying to get the ball to Powell, who took a shot in the middle of the field there. Yeah, that is Brandon Powell, 7-year man. See this? I didn't. Oh, okay. So it didn't look like a violent collision, but he landed on his head. So the trainers are out there looking at number 4 there for Minnesota. We are in an injury timeout. Looks like Powell looks okay. He's walking off on his own to the sidelines. Gonna get checked out there. But it is a 4th and 1 for Minnesota. A minute 17 left in the half. To be honest with you, if I was Minnesota, I would just go for it. And it looks like they're just gonna punt it here. Granted, I know if you don't want to give Green Bay any hope that they can score here, but I mean the way that the way your offense has moved the ball, something tells you can get some points out of this drive and really, really put Green Bay in a hard spot in the second half here. And the punt is off, and it's going to be a fair caught by Jaden Reed. So Green Bay will have the ball one last time here in the second half. It'll be 1:11 on the clock. They have 2 timeouts. They are down 28 to nothing here at home against the rival Minnesota Vikings. Jordan is 9 of 19, 94 yards, 2 interceptions. Ball is at the 16-yard line. Shotgun, snap. Gets the ball out quickly to Romeo Dobbs, who cannot haul it in after taking a shot from the safety there. Defender got there just as the ball arrived. Yeah, man, the fans in the stands do not look happy at all, man. Obviously, yes, it's a huge loss, but man, they look dejected. Shotgun snap. Jordan tries to get the ball out quickly to Jacobs, who breaks a tackle, and he's going to get close to a first down here. And I feel like Jacobs could have gotten a little more out of that. Either way, it'll be about 3rd and 3. It'll be 3rd and 2. The ball is at the 23-yard line. They need to get to the 31. Sorry, they have to get to the ball to the 26. My apologies. Shotgun takes a snap, has to scramble out, and pass is going to be high for Romeo Dobbs, and it's going to be incomplete. 4th and 2. That was a very strange concept there for what basically came out to a short 3rd down. And he had Wicks. If he's yeah, Jordan just missed one right there, man. If he would have been able to get the ball to Wicks on the underneath route, he gets a first down. He wasn't going to get a whole lot of yardage, but it would have been a first down. And oh my god, it's a muffed, and it's picked up by the Packers, and that's going to be a touchdown. Woo! Let's go. Oh my god. Yes. There we go, man. Our punter has been amazing the entire season. Daniel Whalen has been probably one of the most consistent players on this Packers team. And that ball got lost in the sun. The Minnesota returner literally just bounced right off his head. Yep, right through his hands, hit the back of his helmet, and Bo Melton tracked it down, scooped it up at the 4, and waltzed into the end zone for Green Bay's first points of the game. Let's go. Oh my goodness. And the Packers are oh no, they're saying since it was okay, Packers are going for 2 here. I was confused why the score hasn't changed. Oh, okay, okay. So anyway, so it wasn't a touchdown apparently. Once again, I don't have subtitles on right now, so I can't. So unfortunately, so the returner fair caught the ball or waved the ball off for a fair catch. So after the Packers recovered, they could not advance it. So they got the ball at the 4, and they threw it to Romeo here, but he bobbled the ball, and the ball is going to be spotted at the 1-yard line. But there is a flag on the field, and Matt Lafleur is apparently losing his mind on the sidelines here. There's a lot going on in these last couple seconds here. Holy cow. All right, let's see what the call is. It's going to be on sportsmanlike conduct on Matt LaFleur. So unfortunately, Green Bay, instead of getting the ball at the 1 on the 2nd down, they're going to lose some yardage because of Matt LaFleur. And it was a good play by the Minnesota corner there. He got his hands in there, which is why Dobbs wasn't able to haul it in cleanly. And I get LaFleur is like mad. He's like, dude, his knees are on the goal line, but you got to keep your cool, man. You get the ball at the 1. And LaFleur was trying to call a timeout before that play, apparently. So there looks like they're giving Green Bay a timeout here. Yeah, so apparently before that first and goal play that Romeo ended up bobbling, Matt Lafleur was literally running down the sidelines, calling a timeout. And apparently, none of the refs were paying attention to him, and Lafleur was saying timeout for a long time. He was saying it for like 5 seconds, and they did not call it. So it'll be second and goal. Ball is going to be at the holy cow! It's going to be a deep throw to Jaden Reed, and that's going to be a touchdown for sure. Holy cow, man! The cameras unfortunately got way late to the play, so I couldn't even set it up. But that is going to be a touchdown for Green Bay, 15-yard touchdown. Wow. Just a great throw by Jordan Love and an amazing catch by Jaden Reed, man. The defender was right on him. The ball went right over the top. He went up and attacked it and brought it in the end zone. Yeah, there was a lot going on that whole that everything from the punt all the way down was there was a lot going on. I gotta figure out how to get some subtitles on here, man, because there was a lot going on. Thankfully, Matt Lafleur's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty did not cost the Packers points here. So there's still 15 seconds left in the second half. I'm hoping the Packers can kick the ball off here, force a fumble, return it for a touchdown, and hey, get another touchdown in the last couple seconds. Make it a 14-28 at the half. I believe that's a good question. I think Green Bay actually gets the ball in the second half. I'm pretty sure Minnesota started with the ball. So Green Bay could have a chance here to make it 14-28 before Minnesota gets the ball back in the second half. And the and the kickoff is muffed again by Minnesota. And Gaskins, it was the returner. He tried to get the ball. Fortunately, it bounced right out of his hand, almost went into the end zone, and was able to make a small return here. And I think Minnesota's going to be like, you know what? Let's just kneel the ball down and get into the locker room before we start messing it up again here. Unbelievable. I was joking that the Packers were going to be able to get a fumble on the kickoff here, but it's exactly what happened. They just weren't able to recover it. All right, Minnesota kneels it down to what was one of the weirdest 60 seconds to end the half this season, in my opinion. Kevin O'Connell looks annoyed as he's walking into the locker room. All right, so it looks like the Packers special teams is going to be the one that brings it home. All right, all we got to do is just make sure that when we kick the ball, we kick it into the Suns, so the Vikings cannot see it, and we'll pick up some fumbles. We'll get going. We'll get going. All right, Matt Lafleur always thinking about it. He's like, all right, my offense can't do anything, my defense can't stop anything, so I'm going to use my kickers as a weapon, and I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's look at some. some scores around the league now that we're at halftime here. Looks like we got a few people here watching. Let me know what game you're watching. And on top of that, who are you rooting for? Not only in the Packers and Vikings game, but who are you going for in the game that you're watching? All right, at halftime, we have the Jets leading the Broncos 6-0. From what I can see, it looks like Aaron Rodgers is not having an amazing game against this Denver defense. New Orleans has the ball. They are trailing 14-17 in the third quarter. Looked like Philly was able to get a touchdown before halftime, so it is 7-24. Tampa Bay leading big against the Philadelphia Eagles. And Carolina, man, they got a close game going with Cincy. It is 14-21. Cincy does have a 7-point lead. And with about a little under 14 minutes left in the third quarter, Jacksonville is trailing Houston 13-17. Pittsburgh was finally able to put up some points against Indiana. There's going to be 17-13 there against the Colts. Bears are leading 10-6 against the Rams. Man, we got some fairly low scoring games. Jets only 6 points. Bears and Rams only 16 points combined. But yeah, what have you guys thought so far of this game? Obviously, could be a blowout still, but I like how Green Bay is still battling, man. None of these guys are, making business decisions at this point. Jordan is still slinging it down the field. Could be easily just be like, hey, today's not our day. Let's put Malik in, and we'll call it a game. And obviously, they get the ball to start the second half here, so could be a little bit of extra momentum. That first drive is obviously going to be huge. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just entertainment wise, I'm hoping this game becomes a lot closer. Yeah, that punt return, that punt recovery, muff punt was huge. Could have been disastrous after the penalty to Lafleur there, but luckily Jordan Love dialed up a nice, beautiful throw to Jaden Reed and was able to get that ball in the end zone on a 15-yard catch. But yeah, what about you, C Storm? How's the Houston and Jacksonville game here? I'm actually gonna pull it up, try to see the box score. All right, so Stroud 15 of 21, 215, one touchdown. He's only been sacked once for a yard. Pretty good. Trevor Lawrence, man, he has been struggling this season. 12 of 18, 103. No turnovers, luckily, but only one touchdown. He has not thrown for a whole lot of yardage in this game. He's not getting any help in his running game. Only 38 rushing yards for the Jaguars in this game. Oh, that's good. That is good. Staying competitive in this game. Yeah, I'm seeing actually some highlights here. Man, dude, I love the way Stroud he throws the ball, man. It's just effortless the way he throws that ball. Plenty of velocity, a lot of that power coming from his legs through his hips all the way through the throw, man. Just a classic way of throwing the ball. Yeah, Richardson, man, taking a shot while he's scrambling, dude. That guy just needs to learn, man. Just slide, slide. Live to play another down, man. Especially when you're leading in the game as well. Like you got to be smarter than that, dude. In this league, man, these guys are huge. These guys are big, everybody's strong, everybody's fast in the NFL. You can't continue to take unnecessary shots. Yeah, hopefully Anthony Richardson is all right, man. Hopefully he can come back um, at some point this season. Just watching Derek Carr get intercepted here, that ball just popped up into the air. Holy cow! No, definitely, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm seeing here. I mean, if you just looked at the stats, you would believe that the Texans would be up by almost like at least 10 points, if not more. But looks like Houston also lost a fumble here, so they have a couple turnover or at least one turnover. It's good for Jacksonville, man. They have not played well in most of their games, but mm, that's not good, man. Hip injuries, man. Obviously, hopefully, it's just like like you know, a bruise or something like that. But man, dude, if it's anything in terms of like your alignment that's off, that's gonna take some time. Especially the way he moves. Like when you're that athletic and that fast, when your core is, especially your hips, if you can't, that affects everything. It's one thing if you have a little bit of a knee injury, maybe even ankle. Sometimes you can take, you can use a brace, you can kind of do things to kind of minimize the swelling and things like that. But when it's a hip, I mean that affects everything, everything. Yeah, man. So hopefully that kid he can just get healthy. Rodgers 8 of 16, only 81 yards, man. But yeah, Jacksonville. Once again, obviously 0-3 have not played well, so I'm kind of glad that they're kind of holding their own against Houston. It's always because I want to see that team do well. I feel like that fan base has, outside of that 1 to 2 year window when they had Bortles, kind of, they made it to the AFC Championship game. That fan base has just not had a whole lot to root for in the last 20 plus years, 25 years. You have to kind of go back to their first couple years of existence, the last time they were consistently, you know, considered one of the better teams in the AFC. And it's just a franchise that has just been, you know, snake bitten, it seems like. And see here, when they were able to get Lawrence, man, that was like, and you saw him play well his first year or two. You're like, okay, Doug Peterson came in there. They had a good first year with Doug, and then it's just been downhill since the middle of last season. They started out relatively strong last year. You could tell that they're still maybe a year away from really beating competitors in the playoffs here. But the pieces were there. They had a running game, they had some wideouts, they had the quarterback, and their defense was looking better and better. And then just last year, I don't know what it was. Trevor, he obviously got hurt last year, but other than that, it's just surprising how bad. Jacksonville has been since the middle of last year. Ever since that interception, that injury to Lawrence, I think even then they were kind of struggling, even leading up to that injury. And yeah, hopefully they can turn things around a little bit this year, make the AFC South a little bit more interesting. But once again, if you're just joining us, my name is Dave. We stream every possible game we can. We do Packer games, we do primetime games. It's all about football here. We're trying to get everything as much as we can. We're going to be adding some new content next month. I'm going to try to break down some film, kind of looking at the all 22 now that the NFL really has their that program ready to go. You're gonna see, I think you're gonna see a lot of that on YouTube as well. So hopefully I can add a little bit to that, add some fun to that. It's gonna be entertainment. I'm not a coach, so I'm not gonna be breaking it down. If you're looking for something that's crazy detailed and oriented, I think you'll be able to find some guys. Brett Coleman is always a great source for that as well. He was a big inspiration for me wanting to add some of that stuff into what I do here. So it'll be fun, and we're just gonna have some fun looking at some of the best drives of the week, kind of stuff like that, and just looking at some fun concepts, things that we can only watch so many games throughout the week. Some of us only watch one. Some of us watch maybe a handful. So it's gonna be fun to kind of look at some of the best plays and see what some teams are doing creatively, and not only on offense but hopefully on defense as well. So, and I'm going to be looking at this game as well with Brian Flores, what he's been able to do on the defensive side to really force Green Bay into some bad decisions here. It's unfortunate, but Brian Flores is one of the best DCs in the league. Just the way what he's been able to do with this Minnesota really turned that defense around. When after Zimmer left, there was a couple seasons where this Minnesota defense was just tanking. They were one of the worst in the league, and now over the last year or two, they've been, if this is what they are, they're going to be one of the top 5 defenses in the league for probably a couple seasons here. Now they got some key additions. They brought in Gilmore, Grenard from Houston actually came in as well. He's been a big boost to that pass rush. And then offensively, bringing in Sam Darnold, who I think is surprising everybody in the league. Like he was always going to be a solid backup. You knew he could play in the NFL, but would he be able to be the guy? And so far through 4 games, or at least 3.5 games, he looks the part. And then adding Jones as well to the running back position. And the kickoff is going to be in the end zone and is going to be downed by Nixon. So the Packers will start with the ball at the 30 here. Yeah, Jordan was 12 of 24, only 50% completion percentage in that first half. Read in motion, Jordan in the shotgun, hands it off to Jacobs, who is going to get about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Nice little handoff up the middle. And they really need to get Jacobs going, man. He started out very slow against Philly, really got a lot better in that second half, had a monster game against Indianapolis. And then last week, not a whole lot. Wilson was really the featured back after the first quarter. Jordan takes the snap, has a little bit of time, cannot get it out. He's going to bring it down to Jacobs, who is running a nice little flat. And Jacobs gets about 3 yards on the play, so it should be about 4 yards for the third down. And quick pass to Dontavian Wicks to the left side. And that is going to be a huge first down catch for Dontavian, man. He's finally getting some balls thrown his way, man. He has been very quiet. Oh no. Let's see if they get the ball snapped here, and they do not. And it looks like is that Minnesota going to be challenging the ball there? And Minnesota is going to challenge whether that was a catch or not. And it looked a little sketchy, so yeah, man, Wicks, he has. I mean, if this gets overturned, he has had a rough season, man. Week one. What's up, Sean Paul? Trader, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the chat, man. How you doing? But yeah, man, Wicks, he's so talented, man. And I feel like it's just some of the he's been unlucky with a lot of his drops, you would call them. Oh yeah, yeah, no, it's been a rough game, but it's I mean, there's hope that it's going to be competitive here. If the Packers can score on this drive, maybe get a turnover on defense, it can quickly become a very interesting game. And right now we're in commercial here, so we're not missing anything. It's going to be close. Wicks definitely he initially had two hands on it, and then when he hit the ground, that ball, let's just say one of his other hands did not stay on the ball, so it's going to be very close, which is going to be very disappointing because that was on third down. So all right, looks like we are going to be back here in just a second here. Oh, for sure, Sean Paul, man. If they're going to make a comeback, they're going to have to start here. I just don't see the Packers defense making too many mistakes here, and unfortunately, the play is going to be overturned to an incomplete pass. So it's going to be fourth down, and the Packers send out their punting unit. I mean, the last time we scored, it started with a punt here. So let's come on, Daniel Whalen, let's go. And unfortunately, the returner is able to hold on to the ball this time. And they actually have a different returner. They send out Brandon Powell, number 4, to get the punt there. It was a good punt though. It was a good punt. Yeah, very disappointing. Unfortunately, not a completed pass there on third down. And it's just Green Bay, man, just not able to consistently keep drives going, man. They have struggled to be consistent when it's stop and go. When you're not on the field, it's tough to get into a rhythm. And it's bad enough that Jordan has been out for such a long time. That is certainly not helping. Darnold under center, hands it off to Jones, who goes up the middle and maybe gets a half a yard. So right now, Green Bay has been doing an amazing job of minimizing the rushing yardage of Minnesota. Darnold under center. Has time. Throws it deep and is nearly intercepted by Xavier McKinney. If McKinney was able to get just a step into it, man, he would have been able to just undercut that route and take it and ooh, trying to get the ball to Justin Jefferson there. No, definitely not. No, losing Jair and Valentine in this game has. I mean, you could see it. And Darnold throwing it deep, and he finds a man wide open down the field. Ooh. Yeah, this secondary is having a rough day. Yeah, the Minnesota started out with a bunch 3 receiver formation on the left side, and Green Bay secondary was not able to figure it out, and Stokes was the closest guy there, and Stokes is having continues to have another rough day. They hand it off to Jonesy up the left side, and he is going to go for some good yardage. That's going to be a first down for Aaron Jones and the Minnesota Vikings. It hurts every time I say it. It hurts every time. I'm not going to ever be used to seeing that guy in purple, man. Doesn't seem right. Be first and 10, ball at the 41-yard line of Green Bay. And Sam Darnold gets out of a couple near sacks there, and he's going to scramble and run for a first down. That was the closest I've seen Green Bay's pass rush getting to Sam Darnold there. And what was it? Vince Lombardi used to say, "Everybody's grabbing out there." Yeah, they were already trying to reach for him before they even were within like 3 feet of him. Keep your technique, and then blow. And they hand it off to Jones, and he is now starting to run for some big yardage. That's going to be a gain of 9 to the left side. And Jonesy put up his hand for Eric Stokes to help him up, and Eric Stokes was, nah. You can get up yourself, man. Oh no, for sure. Yeah, don't get me wrong, man. Jonesy, man. The way he conducted himself when he was in Green Bay all 7 years, man. The guy wasn't not only was he an all-time player in Packer history, just an all-time human being. So I'm glad he's having success. I just wish it wouldn't be today. And it's going to be intercepted by Xavier McKinney. And oh my God, beautiful job. Sam Darnold was trying to get the ball to Jonesy on a wheel route, and Xavier just completely undercut the route. The ball was definitely underthrown, and Xavier McKinney, that is going to be. Ooh, actually, hold on there. I mean, they're going to commercial break, but he was bobbling it. But as of right now, as of right now, that is going to be 4 interceptions in 4 games for Xavier McKinney. Once again, he was bobbling the ball. I don't know if his elbow hit first and then he caught it or the other way around. Either way, I guarantee you there's gonna be a review of this by the time we get back. Either way, man, Xavier McKinney, dude, he has been worth every dollar that they had paid for him. That guy has completely changed the way that we, as Green Bay fans, think about the safety position. Because like the last couple years, ever since we lost, I mean, we lost a lot of guys, but Morgan Burnett, you know, Clinton Dix, as well as Micah Hyde. Ever since those guys kind of left, it's been just kind of a little bit of a revolving door of guys. You know, we had Rudy Ford for a while, who, and granted, Rudy was good. I think he had, God, I'm trying to think, he played for 2 years. I think he had about four, maybe five interceptions, but outside of those picks, he was a limited guy. He was a guy that you would want as your third, maybe fourth safety. He shouldn't be your number one. Um, Simone Biles' husband. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot his name, so I um, but yeah, Simone's, husband there, he was okay, but once again, limited as a player. He's a guy that's gonna play in this league for 10 to 12 years, but he's never gonna be the number 1 guy. But man, dude, Xavier, and on top of that, the players that the Packers also drafted, they drafted 3 safeties this year, so, you know. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, man. No, it was, yeah, man. Ever since Nick Collins, man, yeah, that was the last time I could say, like, consistently we would never have, you would never really think about the safety position. And that's the fact that it's been what, 13 years since Nick Collins went down in, was that 2011? That was, against, a rookie Cam Newton. Yeah, man. Yeah, that still makes me sad as a Packer fan, just knowing what Nick Collins was and could have been. And unfortunately, it looks like they have potentially, let me see here. But yeah, man, Nick Collins, one of the greatest players that I ever saw, man. He was huge. He was awesome. And the interception is going to stand. They're saying that McKinney was able to haul it in before his elbow hit the out of bounds. And Packers will start with the ball at the 2-yard line, hand off to Jacobs, who gets out across the 5-yard line. So that is four, count it, four interceptions in 4 games for Xavier McKinney to start out his Green Bay career. Yeah, I would say McKinney at this point, already just 4 games in, he might be the best safety we've had since since Nick Collins. And that's no disrespect to Morgan Burnett, who was solid. He was very, very solid. He was reliable, wasn't explosive, didn't always get a lot of interceptions or even make huge plays on the ball, like batted passes, but the guy was healthy. He played downs. He was a okay tackler. Wasn't a great tackler, but it was a okay tackler. And Jordan scrambling in the end zone, and he gets the ball out before he is taken down. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Packers. The ball is at about the 6-yard line here. Minnesota is showing blitz here. They do. Ball is out, and Dontavian Wicks drops the ball. That would have been a huge first down, and Wicks is just having a rough, rough game. He's been having a rough season, and it was a good throw by Jordan, man. I mean, it was gonna be tight coverage, but that's one Wicks needs to haul in. And unfortunately, it's gonna be 4th down, and the Packers are gonna punt well, well in the shadow of their end zone here. Punt is away. Whalen was just barely able to get it out, and it's a good punt. And unfortunately, they cannot bring the returner down. He's going to be able to maximize the yardage, and it's going to be at about the 45-yard line, 5 yards short of midfield here. It was a good punt. He was able to get it to about the 37, but the Gunners just both were actually got there, but they were not able to bring him down, and he was able to get about 8 or 9 yards on the play. On the return, sorry. So, Sean Paul, are you a Packer fan, or is this just the game that you're watching today, man? Thanks for dropping in, by the way. And Sea Storm, how you doing, brother? I know you say you were working today. There you go. Nice to meet a fellow cheesehead here in the chat. How long you been a Packer fan? Who was who'd you grow up watching? Were you a Brett Favre guy, or Aaron Rodgers guy, or potentially older? Were you a Don Mikowski fan? The Magic Man there. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, there you go. Jacksonville taking the lead here, man. Holy cow. Man, I would not be surprised, man. That Houston offense, man, they're so explosive. Sometimes they just need just give them a couple seconds and a good play. I mean, you got Nico Collins there, you got Diggs, you got so many guys that just can make a play, make a guy miss, get down the field, and just like that, you're boom. And Stroud, he has the arm to basically put the ball anywhere on in the field. All right, it'll be 1st and 10 here. Ball at the 44. Toss to Jones, who is just ripping right through this Packers defense now. And that's going to be a gain of about 13, maybe 14 yards. And the Vikings are in Packers territory. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Lifelong Packer fan. And fakes the handoff, gets it to Jones, who is going to be brought down for a loss by the rookie Javon Bullard. Heck yeah. Love seeing the rookie, man, especially from the secondary, coming down and bringing down a really tough running back. It's going to be a loss of about 1 or 2 there. There you go. Yeah, Don was just a little bit before my time. I think by the time Brett took over, I think the first time I remember seeing a Packer game was like in 1996, maybe 7. And Darnold takes the snap in the shotgun. Packers send the blitz, and they are going to get to him. That is number 7, Quay Walker, with a huge sack on Sam Darnold, forcing a long 3rd down. There we go. Heck yeah, man. Jeff Halfley, let's get in there, man. It's 28-7. Put some pressure on him, man. If we're gonna lose, let's make sure that we get Sam Darnold to throw that ball quick. Don't give him time back there, man. Otherwise, he's gonna pick you apart. Let's go. And 3rd and 25. Quick pass to Jones, and it's gonna be Nowhere near a first down, but it was a nice gain, probably about 13, 14 yards there. Yep. It'll be 4th and 11, and Minnesota is going to punt the ball back to Green Bay here. Okay, okay, heck yeah. So from Wisconsin, went to Ohio. Nice, dude. Heck yeah. Staying in the Midwest, right? And the punt is hits at the 1 yard line, but it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. Green Bay will get the ball at the 20-yard line. 6:28 left in the game. In the third quarter here. 6:28 in the third quarter. Ooh, got a Notre Dame fan here. There we go. There we go. All right, we are back here. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. Two receivers to the right. Wicks in motion. Fakes the handoff to Wilson. Gets the ball to Wicks, who makes a man miss. Gets up the field, and it's going to be a big 11-yard gain for Dontavian Wicks. There we go. Get him into rhythm, making an easy catch. Let's go. But besides football here, oh, hold on, handoff. Wilson breaks a tackle, and it's going to be a gain of about 8 there. There we go. I like it. Wilson, man, he's been underrated this season. I was hoping they would use him a lot more, but to answer your question, I'm a big movie guy as well. Love going to the theater, man. That's the thing I like to do, especially when I'm not working or doing this here. If I can fit in a movie once a week or every other week, it's always a fun time. Especially with spooky season coming around, there's gonna be some fun horror movies. That's gonna be my jam. Heck yeah, man. If you had to choose, what is your favorite horror franchise? And it's a handoff to Wilson, who stumbles forward for about a gain of 2 on the play. I guess I wouldn't say I have a type of favorite genre. I think it's almost anything here. Second and 8, 2 receivers to his right, gets the ball out quickly to Jaden Reed, who stays on his feet after the tackle attempt, and it's going to be a big first down for the Packers. And Jaden Reed, man, he runs so violently, man. I love it. Small guy, man. Uh, man, a favorite. Honestly, I like anything, man. If it's good, like if you look at the little shelf that I have here, it ranges from Dragon Ball Z to Deadpool. You got some movies from like the 40s, Evil Dead, things like that. Handoff to Wilson. He breaks a tackle and he is loose and he is going to be down all the way to the 11, but there is a flag on the field. Ran right up the middle, hit to the right sideline, and was able to get down to the 11, but there is a flag, and it's going to be on Green Bay, so that'll wipe away a huge run by Emmanuel Wilson, and that was on Tucker Kraft. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely some horror films where I'm like, what is going on here? What was the? I went to this is granted like 4 or 5 years ago, but Midsummer. That one freaked me out, man. I remember watching that movie in the theaters, and like it took me a couple days to shake it off. That one was intense. First and 20, ball at about the 42-yard line. Jordan in the shotgun, fakes the handoff, looking downfield, has time, going way deep, and it's going to be incomplete. The safety was able to get his hands on it, bat that ball away. Might have actually been able to pick it off. Not a great decision by Jordan there. That was like tight coverage, man. And like I get it, you're down 21 points, but I mean at this point just get yardage. Get yardage. If this was, 3 minutes left, 3:50 minutes left in the fourth quarter, then yeah, you gotta throw it deep, but get a whole nother quarter, man. Get the yardage that you can. And it's Reed on the orbit, going to the right. Jordan gets it to oh, he dropped it. Jaden Reed could not hold on to that short pass there. Ball was a little low. There was definitely a guy in Jordan Love's face, but that's one that Reed would really want to have back there. That one he could have caught and could have gotten a couple yards. No, it's been rough, man. It has been rough, Sean Paul. All right, third and 18. Reed in motion. Shotgun has time. Gets the ball out to Tucker Kraft, who is going to make the most out of it. Might have gotten about 9 yards on the play. It'll still be a relatively long fourth down here. And they're going for it, which I do not blame them. You gotta maximize your points here. So empty set basically. Jordan has time, has protection, finds a man deep, tries to get it to Wicks, who cannot haul it in. It'll be turnover on downs. And it was a good throw by Jordan. He threw it short, and I guarantee you he was hoping for probably a pass interference call. And I gotta see what I feel like it hit Wicks right in the hands. Now, unfortunately, Wicks felt like he was there was a little bit of a PI, so he didn't fully commit to catching the ball. Yeah, man. I get it. He's you gotta be stronger, man. You gotta be stronger when you're trying to go for the ball, Wicks. I think that was Shaquille Griffin, former Seahawk. He was able to get his hands kind of on Wicks's arms, but he didn't. It wasn't enough for a PI there. Wicks just really needs to focus and just catch it. Oh, huge. Oh, let's see here. Huge stop. There you go, man. Houston's defense coming up big. Man, dude, I'm surprised Jacksonville decided to go for it, man. Take the points, make it a 6 point game. Not two possessions, a touchdown lead right there, basically. So might come to back to bite them, man. That's a Houston offense, man. They can score from anywhere. So it'll be 2nd and 1, and oh, flag. There you go. It's gonna be a false start on Minnesota. It's gonna move them back here. Oh yeah, man, the Saw franchise. Yeah, I remember watching the first two, and I've not been able to see any of the other ones since then. It's not that I don't like them. I just haven't. They haven't been interesting to me enough. There's like a whole lore behind it. I feel like I'm like, oh man, I gotta rewatch the first two. Then I think there's like what, like 7 of those things, 8 of those things. I was like, oh. And Darnold throws it out quickly to the left and gets it to Jefferson, who is going to be close to a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for Minnesota. They're showing Matt Lafleur sitting down all the way in the back, looking at the Windows tablet there, just looking like he's trying to find some answers, man. 3rd and 1. Darnold under center, tight end in motion to the left. They hand it off to Chandler, who is going to be brought down just short of the first down marker, gained maybe a half a yard, if that. So it's going to be a 4th down. It's going to be very short. Just a great job by the Packers defense wrapping him up. Quay Walker was the first guy there. And Minnesota is going to send out their punting unit with under a minute left in the third quarter. They're going to try to force this Green Bay offense to go the length of the field if they want to get points. And the punt is away, and it's going to be a phenomenal punt. Goes out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Both punters, man, today, both punters are showing up, man. It's been an uneven game by Jordan for sure. I think he's forced a couple throws. I think none of the interceptions were really on him, especially the second one. I think that was just a little bit of a kind of let that ball kind of be. I don't want to say in no man's land because I think it was just confusing. I think Musgrave. I don't think that ball was intended for him. So when Musgrave kind of put his hands on it and it glanced off of it, kind of messed up the rhythm of the whole play. But he's. I feel like Jordan has made some of these throws a little bit harder, some of these catches a little bit harder for his wideouts than he should. Sometimes you just gotta take the simple one, get your 4 or 5 yards, and he has the arm strength, he has the accuracy to make those tight window throws. But right now, your receivers are not at that level right now. They're dropping passes, they're making them, things like that. So big first down for Jaden Reed on that first play, and the Packers hurry to the line. And he's going to dump it down to Jacobs, who's going to get the most out of the yards there. That's going to be a gain of about 7, maybe 6 on the play. And that is going to be the end of the third quarter here in Green Bay, with Minnesota still up 28-7 over the Packers. And Sea Storm. What about you, my friend? What kind of movies do you like? What's So I know horror is not your thing, my friend. What do you like? You a rom com? Rom com? Matthew McConaughey? All right, all right. All right, let's look at the box score real quick for that Houston game. Actually, I'm really interested. What's it looking like? All right, Trevor Lawrence has. All right, he's putting up a little bit more yardage. Got an extra touchdown, so 16 of 26, 168, two touchdowns. Stroud, 21, 31, 295, still the one touchdown there. Holy cow, man! Jacksonville, their numbers in terms of rushing yards has gone way up. I think the last time we checked here was like just before the third quarter started. They had like 30, maybe 40 rushing yards. They are at a buck 53 on just 20 carries. There we go, man. Yeah, I'm seeing that, man. They are racking up some penalties here. Yeah, because in terms of stats, they're looking solid. Obviously, they haven't been running the ball really well. They're only averaging 3.5, which I think is not helping. But I mean, Stroud, man, he's almost at 300 yards. So they've been able to move the ball through the air relatively well. But I guess those penalties are really what's been killing them. I know they have the ball right now, so it'll be second and three. Wicks in motion. Jordan in the pistol, fakes the handoff, gets the ball. He's scrambling, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Tucker Craft. Had Jacobs underneath. Jacobs, if he gets it to him quickly enough, I mean, at the worst, he's going to be within a yard of the first down. And that's the thing with Jordan right now, man. I get it. He wants to make a huge play. Just take what the defense gives you right now, man. You got to get your players in rhythm. You got to get these wideouts, these running backs in rhythm. And that's the big thing. Like it's not going to matter, if you score a touchdown, with a minute left, if you can't get these guys into rhythm. And it's going to be a handoff on the shotgun. Jacobs up the middle, gets a big gain. First down for Green Bay there. Jacobs, 8 of 44 today. He is looking good. Able to make the first man miss. It's going to be fakes the handoff in the shotgun, gets it to Tucker Craft. Craft gets about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Nice little throw to the flat on the right side there. And Jordan has time. Finding a man. He is wide open down the field, and that's going to be to Bo Melton. Huge, huge gain right there by Bo Melton. Jordan moving in and out of the pocket there. That was a very Aaron Rodgers throw. And to be honest with you, at this point, I think it's just a Jordan Love throw. The guy throws the ball like that all the time. Snap, gets the ball out quickly, and he will get it to Malik Heath. There we go, man. That's a name we have not heard a whole lot this season. Malik with a nice 3-yard catch there on the left boundary. All right. Second and 7. The ball is at the 34. Jordan in the shotgun. Three receivers to his right. Minnesota is showing blitz here. So we got to get the ball out here quickly here. They do. And he gets the ball to Malik, who will get down to the 15. And that is a Green Bay first down. All right. Ball. It's going to be, I think, around the 14. There's going to be a little over 12:30 left in the game. Ball is snapped. Shotgun gets the ball out quickly to Jacobs underneath, who nearly breaks a tackle. Could have gotten a lot more yardage, but it will be a nice 9-yard gain for Green Bay here. There we go. Yeah, man. When, especially on third down, if you're getting penalties and you're making that third down that long, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Texans, they're an explosive team, but defenses nowadays, especially early in the season, they will rule. Defenses always play so much more better in September than they do the offense, just because there's so much rhythm, there's so much cadence. And Jordan gets the ball out, and he's scrambling. He throws the ball out of the back of the end zone, nearly sacked there. Jordan comes up without his helmet there. Kind of similar to the play that he got injured in Philly. Just guys just wrapped all the way around him, grabbing his leg, grabbing everything. And then Jordan just trying to make a play. Yeah, unfortunately, the pressure was there instantly. So whatever play they were running there must have been some mistake here. So third and one, ball at the 6-yard line. They need to get to at least the 5 for a first down. Jordan drops back, finds an open man, and that is going to be Dontavian Wicks. This time is able to haul in the pass. And that is a touchdown for Green Bay here with 11:49 left to go. That was a 6-yard touchdown there to Dontavian Wicks. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Yeah, Wicks faked like he was gonna go up the field. Basically stacked him in the two corners with another wide out there. First wide out, basically just ran up the field, and Wicks, after faking a couple steps to the end zone, cut it inside like a little slant route and open touchdown. About as good as you can, as about as easy of a throw you're gonna get in this game. And the extra point is good. And with 11:38 left in this game, it is Green Bay 14, Minnesota 28. All right, so we got ourselves a little bit of a game here. We're going to see what this Green Bay defense can do. Can they get another turnover? Can they put some pressure on Sam Darnold and give the ball back to this Packers offense that finally looks like they are in rhythm a little bit? All right, Sean Paul, man. Thank you so much, man, for dropping in. Hopefully, you can come back for some other games, either another Packer game or maybe some games later today or even tomorrow. But once again, have a great day, man. Appreciate you. Have a good one, man. Go Pack, go. And if you're just joining us, once again, my name is Dave. We stream every possible game that we can, Packer games, primetime games. We're gonna be adding some new content later on in the month, so please make sure you subscribe, leave a like. All right, let's look at that Texans and Jacksonville game, man. Continuing, Jacksonville has the ball here. So Jacksonville is facing a 3rd and 11. They use their first timeout of the second half. It's gonna be a big conversion, man. I guarantee you they're gonna try to whittle this clock down as low as they possibly can. They do not want to give CJ Stroud the ball back. And Narvison's kickoff is up and out the back of the end zone. And hey, Sea Storm, they got it, man. Pass broken up. There we go. Heck yeah, man. All right. Looks like the CJ Stroud led Texans are going to get one last chance here, potentially one last chance to take the lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right. 1st and 10 here in the Packers and Vikings game. Ball at the 30. Darnold, Vikings in the eye. Jefferson in motion to the right. Fakes the handoff. Pressure on Darnold, who has to get out of the pocket, and is going to be taken down by Rashawn Gary after a minimal gain of maybe 1, and Sam Darnold comes up limping. Rashawn Gary, man, taking him down. Ooh, that could have been an ugly, ugly knee injury, man. Darnold's foot nearly got stuck underneath Gary. So 2nd and 8, ball at the 32. Darnold in the backfield, and he's going to be sacked for a fumble. It's picked up by Green Bay, and the Packers sent a corner blitz that got to Darnold. Ball popped loose, and it is picked up by the rookie linebacker Edgerrin Cooper out of Texas A&M. Woo! We got ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen. If the Packers can score here, it is going to be a one possession game. Sorry, if the Packers can get a touchdown, it'll be a one possession game. Phenomenal job. And that was Keyshawn Nixon coming on the corner blitz, and that is 100% a fumble. That ball did not move forward. Keyshawn hit him perfectly as Darnold was moving that ball, cocking that ball back. Just a great job. And the Packers get the ball at the 20. Jaden Reed in motion. They give the ball to Jacobs, who barrels through all the way down to the 13. And yes, to answer your question, yes, Green Bay has the ball back. It was a huge sack fumble, and the Packers recovered it at the 20. Ball gets to Tucker Kraft on the sidelines, stays in bounds, and he is going to be in for a touchdown. He tight-roped about 8 yards and dove for that pylon. Holy cow. And there was a referee right on the sideline, so he had a great vision if Tucker Kraft stepped out of bounds. So I believe that touchdown is going to stand. And just like that, let's see here. Feed in bounds, feed in bounds, feed in bounds. And yeah, That is going to be a touchdown for Tucker Kraft. Holy cow. With 10:16 left in this game, the Green Bay Packers, it is 20-28. And right now, the Packers are actually going for two instead of kicking the extra point. Granted, this play is taking a little bit to get called. All right, three receivers to the left. Jacobs in the backfield in the shotgun. Read in motion. And it is good. They get it to Tucker Kraft underneath the coverage. And just like that, the Packers have made it a 6-point game with 10:16 left in the game. It is 22-28. Holy cow, Green Bay is coming back, baby. Woo. Oh my god, if you're just joining us, literally seconds left in the second half. It was 28-0. The Packers looked completely unable to move the ball on offense. Their defense could not stop anything. They were getting no pass rush. They could not hold anybody down. They were missing tackles, broken coverage. Everything seemed to be going wrong. And then a single punt with the sun in his eyes. Minnesota's returner fumbled it. It was picked up by Green Bay to get a touchdown, almost a touchdown. They had to run a couple plays to get a touchdown, but they were able to get some points before the half. And since then, it has been Green Bay all the way. Defense is getting pressure. The pass rush is being consistent. They're being smart with their gap assignments. They're stopping the run. They're not giving up any big plays over the top, and now the offense is starting to get going. The running game is going, and the passing game looks as well oiled as it did last season and kind of throughout most of the season as well. So we got ourselves a game here in Green Bay, and the Packers have all the momentum right now. If they can get one more stop, I have so much confidence in this offense to get it going. Just need a stop. All right. Heck yeah, Sea Storm. We we're almost there, man. We're almost there. All right. For some reason, my ESPN app is not updating. Let's see where the ball is here. All right. Looks like Houston has the ball. Here we go. All right. It's 2nd and 5 for the Houston Texans. 4:50 left in the game. And sorry to answer this question for USC Storm. That was a Edgerrin Cooper. I believe he was the Packers' second round pick. Second round pick. Middle linebacker. Or just linebacker at this point. I feel like they're almost interchangeable. They kind of put him on the edge every once in a while, but he's mostly inside. Just a great design. Tucker Kraft just running on basically a nice little shallow cross, sluggo route, whatever you want to call it. Started on the right side and just kind of went underneath late and was running to the left. Everybody was worried about the wide receivers that were bunched up to the left of the field, so the coverage kind of moved backwards. Tight ends, linebackers left the middle field open, and Tucker Kraft just able to sneak in for the 2-point conversion. All right, 1st and 10, fakes the handoff. Packers are sending everybody in, and they get the ball to Jefferson's for a big gain. Ball is going to be at about the 47, 3 yards short of midfield. So Packers were aggressive, but Minnesota did a great job in pass protection and bought some time, enough for Jefferson to get open against Keyshawn Nixon. And as much as I love Keyshawn, man, he is not known for his coverage skills. He's more of a blitzing, smart player, great tackling. He's gonna give up some plays. That's just who he is. But he makes big plays when we need him. And it's gonna be a screen to the tight end who is gonna get about 6 or 7 yards on the play. Once again, Packers are sending pressure. And right now Minnesota's being smart with it, man. They're using that aggressiveness against Green Bay, gonna try to hit something underneath. And from what I'm seeing here, it looks like the Texans unfortunately had a punt. So it'll be 2nd and 2, ball at the 45 of Green Bay. And Jefferson is wide open, just completely open, and he is going to be down inside the 20 of Green Bay. A massive, massive blown coverage by the Packers. And there is a player down on the field for Green Bay. It looks like Devontae Wyatt. Yeah, Jefferson just running a shallow cross from the left side to the right side of the field and just got completely open. Fortunately, I couldn't see the coverage because of the camera angle, but I'm not sure who was supposed to stay with him or drop down. But it's not a great play by Green Bay's defense right there. They have been giving up some big plays here on this big crucial drive. So we are at an injury timeout here. Hopefully, Devontae Wyatt is okay. He's been phenomenal for Green Bay this season, man. Great job just in the run game. He's been so much better in the passing game as well, or pass rush. He's gotten to the quarterback a couple times this season. He looks so they're showing him on the sidelines. He's limping a little bit here, but for the most part, he is basically walking under his own power. But all right. So we got Darnold in the shotgun, 1st and 10, ball at the 18. Green Bay needs a stop here. Darnold has time, gets the ball out to Jones, who is going to be close to a first down, gain of 8 or 9 on the play for Aaron Jones. Holy cow, 12 of those? Holy cow. 12? What is he, the Packers from the first 2 weeks here? Man, Jesus. It's a lot of penalties on that Texans offense, or the whole team probably, actually. Yeah, you're not gonna be dominating anybody when you're giving up double digit penalties there. 2nd and 10, and looks like there's a mistake on the play. Jones did not know the play there. See, look at that, man. Even when he's a Viking, he's still helping out the Packers. Sam Darnold was expecting Jones to come up the middle to take the handoff. Jones thought it was going to be a toss, and Darnold has to hit the ground for a big loss of about 5 yards on the play. See, Jones still is helping out the Packers right there. That was for us. He gave us one. He gave us one. I'll take it. Thank you, Jonesy. All right, it's going to be a big 3rd and 7 here. Packers are showing blitz. They don't, and they throw it away, and that's going to force Minnesota to kick the field goal here. Looks like Darnold was not on the same page as his wideouts. Nobody was there. He was looking at the end zone on the right side. Right? Let's go, man. Let's go. We got to get them. Let's get a block kick here. And unfortunately, Narvison's 2 missed kicks are coming into play here. And the kick is up and it is good. And with 6:50 left in this game, Minnesota takes a 2-possession lead. 31-22, 9-point lead. Seeing if Narvison was just able to make even just one of those 2 kicks, it would still be a 1-possession game. It's going to be interesting what Green Bay does with Narvison. He was 3 of 4 in his first 2 games, missed 2 kicks from within, I think, 45 yards. And then last week was 3 of 3, but he did miss one that was luckily for him. There was a penalty on Tennessee that wiped away that miss for him. And then to start out the day here, missing 2 from inside the 50. And I mean, LaFleur has, when they've asked him what is his job to help out this rookie kicker, and he's basically said it's not my job to get him to kick. He's like, I don't do kicking. That's Rich Bisaccia's job. And then on top of that, Brian Gutekunst also has kind of said in the past, he's like, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of patience for special teams guys, whether that be punters, kickers, long snappers. So Narvison, he's a rookie, man, but he's the Packers need a guy that's reliable, and so far the kid has not shown that ability to be a reliable kicker. It's one thing if you're missing from 50 or more, but you're missing kicks from 42, 43, 49. Like in the league, you got to make those kicks. 1st and 10, the ball is at the 30. Jordan dropping back, trying to find a man deep. He does, and that is Dontavian Wicks, who will get all the way down to the 35. Woo! That is a 45-yard gain on the first play for the Packers. Wicks finding a nice soft zone in between the safety and the corner down the right sideline there. Ball is actually at the 34. Shotgun. Vikings send a blitz, and it's going to be intercepted. Jordan Love making an awful decision. Anyway, let me see here. Finally, first time. Oh, let me see here. They Minnesota sent Harrison Smith, safety, on a blitz, and instead of just throwing it away, Jordan Love just throwing it up there for anybody to grab. And man, I haven't seen him make a bad decision like that since. I'm trying to think here. I don't even want to say the interception in the 49ers game. Even that wasn't as bad of a play as that at Pittsburgh. I think that's the last time I've seen him throw just like a jump ball to nobody, basically, except for the defender. Yeah, Jordan, that was just a bad decision by him. Anyway, Minnesota get the ball back here at the 20 after the touchback on the interception. I mean, he had Wicks there, but Wicks was nowhere near out of his route there. I don't know if he thought Wicks was just gonna run a straight go route, but Wicks went wide, kind of similar to what he did to basically set up that play, and Jordan just threw it up there. Disappointing. Yeah, it's a big pick. Picked off in the end zone. Was not a good decision. There was basically nobody that was gonna grab it from Green Bay's side. All right, let's look at really quickly here. They handed off to Aaron Jones, who does not get much of anything in that play. It'll be 3rd and 6. And there is a minute '08 left with the Houston Texans. They are driving down the field with an opportunity for a field goal here. I know, see Storm. When he threw that, I was like, oh, there has to be a guy wide open because that ball is just going to linger in the air, and it was just a bad decision by Jordan. Just a bad decision by Jordan. And pass to the left, and it's going to be incomplete. And Minnesota is going to go 3 and out after the interception there. Great job by Stokes on the coverage. It looks like Green Bay is going to get the ball back. There is not a whole lot of time left in this game with Green Bay. There's going to be right now the clock is stopped at 4:40. They are down by 2 possessions here, 9 points. So and that's the big thing too with that interception. Even if you couldn't get a touchdown, let's say the next couple plays were just passing the ball and it fell incomplete. Kick a field goal potentially. If Narveson can make it, it makes it a one possession game. Give it to your defense. Hopefully they can get a turnover or a stop like they did here. And maybe with a couple more, couple more minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes left, you would have a chance to win the game. And Devontae Wyatt is walking to the locker room. Looks like he is kind of going through it a little bit here. It's getting some love from the fans though. So, all right, 1st and 10, ball at the 37, and the first pass is batted down by Stephon Gilmore. Love trying to get the ball to Dontavian Wicks, and Gilmore just great coverage, attacking that ball. Houston with a 1st and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. 1 timeout, 30 seconds left, and it's gonna be an interesting ending to that game, man. Shotgun, 2nd and 10. Jordan pressured, rolling out to his right, gets the ball out to Tucker Kraft, who fumbles the ball, and it is recovered by Minnesota. Oh no. Oh no. That's not what you want to see. 2 big turnovers. Yep, just a great job of attacking the ball, just punching it out, and it's recovered by Minnesota. Ooh. I don't blame Tucker Kraft, man. He was trying to make a play, but just get out of bounds, man. Just get out of bounds. I know you're trying to get the most yardage you can, but I mean, at that point, there's 3 defenders that you would have to beat, and most likely, all you're going to be able to get is an extra 2 or 3 yards at most. Fortunately, Tucker Kraft fumbles the ball, and it is recovered by Minnesota here. They get the ball at the 42. They hand it off to Jones, who is going to get to the 40-yard line. But at this point, Minnesota is just all they need to do is just kill the clock. They're up by 2 scores. Even if Green Bay uses all their timeouts and they get a quick 3 and out here. It's not going to leave a whole lot of time left. Heading into this game, the Packers had not turned the ball over once in their last 2 games with Malik Willis. They had, I believe, 2 or 3 turnovers, maybe 4 actually, in week 1. And today they have 3 interceptions and now a lost fumble. So, and unfortunately, you're seeing a lot of Packer fans head out the door, which is disappointing to see in Green Bay as a Packer fan. I don't know about you. I've yet to ever make it to a regular season game, but I don't know about you, man. But how expensive these tickets are, I'm watching the whole game because you never know. You never know. We've seen a muffed fumble. We've seen the muffed kickoff. I mean, you never know how teams are going to be able to score here. Who knows? There could be a fumble by Jonesy here. Who Jones, as much as I love him, he has fumbled in the past. Could be a big fumble. Maybe they return it for a touchdown, and right there, you're in this game. So it's a little disappointing to see some Packer fans leaving this game with over 4 minutes left. They hand it off to Jones, who's going to get stacked up with a no gain. It'll be 3rd and very long. And the Texans did score a touchdown. Oh, ho, ho, ho. With 18 seconds, the Houston Texans take the lead here. And now they're actually showing the replay here. Oh, just a nice concept there. Getting it to his man on the flat route. Nice job. Yeah, man. Yeah, I wonder how Grassi's handling it right now. Yeah, man. It's weirdly enough, with living in Wisconsin, it's just something that we were. I always liked football as a kid, but my parents owned their own business, so after school, I would always just go there. So we never really had time to kind of do massive activities outside of sporting events outside of like the local area. So and 3rd and 2 looks like there's going to be a pass here. And it looks like they get it to Jefferson. He might have been able to get both feet in bounds. If that's the case, the Vikings are going to be able to kill a lot of this clock here. And Jefferson just got that first foot in bounds, and he was able to drag the second foot in. That's going to be a huge first down for Minnesota. And of course, some soft coverage. And Matt Lafleur is. Wait, what is the call on the field? Okay, so Kevin O'Connell is challenging, and it looks like the call on the field was called incomplete. Did Jefferson hold on to the ball after he hit the ground? Yeah. So yeah, if this was called incomplete, it's going to be overturned here. And it should be a first down for Minnesota. So C-Storm, that game was at the old Cowboy Stadium. Yeah, because I know Jerry World was what was that, built in 2008 or 9, maybe 2010. And that's going to be a first down. The call is overturned. It's going to be a first down for Minnesota here. Green Bay has one timeout left. Clock is stopped at 4:04. And I'm expecting a couple handoffs here just to kill some clock. Jefferson in motion. Fakes the handoff. Darnold has a little bit of time, and he's going to get it to Jefferson. Sorry, not Jefferson. That is Addison. Jordan Addison for a big first down. Packers were playing the run, and they left the middle of the field wide open, and Packers were actually able to get to Sam Darnold, but he was just able to get that ball out. Oh, okay, AT&T. Okay, right on, right on. Yeah, that has to be an impressive stadium to see a game in. And hand off to Jones. He's going to get to the edge. He's going to stiff arm, and he will gain about 5 or 6 yards on the play. It is a sad day to see Aaron Jones try to whittle this clock down for the Minnesota Vikings here. Clock is stopped at 3:11. Jonesy is 20 rushes today for 89 yards. So nothing dominant, but at the same time, didn't really need to be. 2nd and 5. Handed off to Jonesy up the middle, who's going to be stopped just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches. And Green Bay will use their final timeout to stop the clock at 3:07 here. To me, this probably has to be 4th down territory for Minnesota here. So even if they don't get a first down here on 3rd and 1, a field goal still doesn't make it any bigger in terms of the 2-possession lead. And they toss it to Jonesy, who is not going to be able to get there. He's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 1 for the Minnesota Vikings. Clock is rolling. Green Bay has no more timeouts left. It'll be interesting what they do here. Do they go for it and try to end the game here? Or do they kick the ball and try to make it a 12-point lead, making it a 2-touchdown lead? Ooh. Oh man, the Jets missed the field goal. Ooh. Do the Jets have any timeouts at all? Oh, it looks like they do not because the clock just updated and it's 17 seconds left. Man, Aaron Rodgers is going to start yelling at people in that locker room. Holy cow, man. And it looks like the Minnesota Vikings are going to go for it on 4th down. They're lining up in shotgun. I would expect for a play action here, try to get the ball out to Jefferson. They hand it off. and it looks like he is going to be down short. They gave it to the wide receiver on the end around, and I think he's going to be short because I believe his knee hit first, and then he extended the ball. Wow. I bet Perna is just over the moon. His team, Bo Nix, just beat Aaron Rodgers. And they are measuring, and it is going to be short. And the Packers do get the stop, and it's going to be turnover on downs. So Green Bay will get the ball back with 2:14 left, down 9 points, 2 possessions, and they will get the ball inside their own 5. The likelihood of winning this game is not very high, unfortunately, after a couple turnovers. But I think if you can drive this ball down the field, get a touchdown, even if it's the last play of the game, get into a rhythm, get these guys going. You're only 2-2 if you lose here. If you lose here, 3 receivers to the right. Emmanuel Wilson flipping back and forth in the backfield in the shotgun. They hand it off to Emmanuel Wilson, who is going to get to just shy of the 10-yard line. Green Bay's trying to run one more play just before the 2-minute warning here. 3, 2, 1. They snap the ball before the 2-minute warning, and they get the ball out to Romeo Doubs down the sideline. It's going to be a nice pickup for a first down. And the clock is stopped at 1:56. Hey, there you go. Bo Nix getting that first touchdown throw. Took him a month in the league, but hey, better late than never. Better late than never. I wonder if the Broncos are going to be number 1 in his power rankings. I would not be surprised. Or he puts them at like 1.5, so they won't get cursed. No, that's awesome for Bo Nix, man. That kid has been kind of thrown under under the bus a little bit by some of the fans here. Was he the last rookie quarterback, or at least of the first rounders besides McCarthy? Obviously, was he the last guy to need a touchdown? Let's see here. Oh, the Colts won. Holy cow! That game got very close very quickly. 17-0 at one point. So Indianapolis escapes with a 27-24 victory. And have to see the box score here, man. Joe Flacco, 16 of 26, 168, 2 touchdowns. Dude, this guy just keeps on getting better and better with age, man. His last season was like by far one of his best seasons as a passer. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, what was the score for that Bears game? 24-18. They beat the Rams. See here. Let's look at the stats. Caleb did get a passing touchdown in this game. All right, man. The rookie quarterbacks, they all have a touchdown now, I think. Pretty sure it was Bo Nix and Caleb heading into this week. They were the last couple guys that needed some. So, all right, man. That sucks that they won. But I'm happy for Caleb Williams, man. I remember watching that Texans Bears game, and dude, that poor kid was just getting destroyed. So good on the kid. Finally got his first passing touchdown, but hopefully that will be his last. And Jordan Love up the seam to Reed, and that's going to be a huge first down. Ball is going to be around the 45-yard line, I believe. It's going to be at the 41. Packers are obviously speeding things up. 3 receivers to the left in the shotgun. Jordan has time. He's rolling out, trying to throw it deep. And he does to Jaden Reed, who is going to be inside the 20, I believe. Phenomenal throw. And that is going to be inside the 20. He's going to be down at about the 18, maybe 17-yard line. 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the left. A tight end. Ball is snapped. Little under 1 minute left, and he's going to find his man in the end zone, and that is Dontavian Wicks for his second touchdown catch of the game. And with a little under 1 minute left, the Green Bay Packers have scored another touchdown. Wicks, 5 of 78 for 2 yards after starting out with about 3 tough drops to start this game off. Wicks has had himself a game. Great response, man. Wicks, when he was dropping those passes, man, he looked dejected. He was frustrated, but he has come up with some key catches here. And the Packers are going to go for the extra point kick here. Please, Narvison, please, for the love of God, just down the middle. Just down the middle. Kick is up. Whew, that was a little... it's good, but... Whew. All right. It is a 3-point game. The Packers drove 96 yards in a little less than a minute and 10 seconds off the clock. 96 yards for a touchdown to make this a 3-point game. And once again, I don't want to keep on bringing it up, but Narvison missed 2 kicks today. That is 6 points Green Bay could have had at this point. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot more miscues than just Narvison. Obviously, some bad, 3 interceptions, a fumble. Jordan's last interception was awful, god awful. Took away a possible chance for even getting a field goal attempt off of that. So obviously, 56 seconds left. Green Bay has no timeouts left. And they're going to need an onside kick here. And there's a little bit of a delay here. It looks like there might be a timeout here. Oh, you're all good, C-Storm. You're all good, my friend. I just appreciate you staying in, man. If you had to go, no problem, man. But hopefully you're all good, my friend. But yeah, so 56 seconds left. Packers have to recover an onside kick here. And the kick is off. And unfortunately, it is recovered by Minnesota relatively easily. Danny Whalen was basically doing a nice little drop kick there, and unfortunately, the ball never bounced. A little too much air under it, and we're gonna come away with a tough loss here in Green Bay. And I got to give the Packers credit, man. It was 28-0 with a couple seconds left. And in the first half, could have easily just laid down, you know, try to run the ball, try to do some things, and but they held Minnesota to just 3 points in the second half. They scored 29 after being down 28-0. And the final kneel down by Sam Darnold. That's it. And we are going to see the Minnesota Vikings come away, escape. And that's what I'm going to call it, an escape. With a win here at Lambeau Field. They're going to improve to 4-0. And unfortunately, the Packers, with their first game back with Jordan Love, will drop to 2-2 on the year. This game was, at first it looked like it was going to be a rough game. It was going to be kind of boring, another shutout, another blowout actually. And instead, man, the Packers made it interesting, man. They made plays on offense. They made some big plays on defense, got some turnovers, got some sacks, things like that, man. And even the special teams, they had their miscues. They missed some kicks early on. Unfortunately, that came back to bite them. But the punting unit was solid. They were able to make some big plays. So overall, this is a team that every facet of it made some mistakes, but they also made some great strides. They got their stuff together in the second half, and it just shows what this team can do, man. They put up 22 points in the second half. So, yeah, man, so close to a comeback. Their biggest comeback in franchise history was 23 points. If they would have been able to get the win, it would have been a 28-point deficit that they came back from. It would have been a new franchise record. So we almost had a great comeback here, man. Almost had a great one. So it's all right. Packers are only 2-2, still at 500 at the very least. Still got plenty of games left, 13 games left. Plus, we'll face this Minnesota team later on in the year, and we're going to try to steal one away at their house. So try to return the favor. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. We got to go back. We got to go into their house, the stadium that kills birds, and we got to not only avenge this loss at home, but we got to avenge some of those birds. All right? That way they didn't die for nothing. Yeah. Same record, man. Same record. 2-2. Cowboys 2-2. Packers 2-2. Oh man, are we the Cowboys of the NFC North? No. No, man. And both of these teams, man. I feel like the Cowboys, their defense definitely needs some guys to step up a little bit more. But their offense, I think that offense is gonna get their stuff together here. So I wouldn't be too worried about the Cowboys. That division, it's gonna depend on if the Commanders and the Giants can actually play. If they can't, then the Cowboys are they're gonna be in it until till probably until December for sure. So yeah, man, it was a fun game at the end there. Packers just made too many mistakes, too many turnovers, um, to kind of win this. But for the most part, if there's an improvement, if there's a silver lining, the penalties did not become that massive of an issue for this team. It seemed like for the first time in their first 4 games, this game was relatively clean. They had some penalties in the first quarter, but after that, there were not many after that. The defense showed up. They did not just lay down. If this was a Joe Barry defense, I'm pretty sure they would not have come close to coming back into this game. So I think this Packers defense is still kind of working out some of the kinks. They need to get healthy as well. Get Jair back. Get uh, Valentine back as well. And I think some of the coverage and the big plays will kind of go away a little bit here. Xavier McKinney getting his fourth interception in 4 games, showing that he has been worth the money. He's been worth every single penny. On top of that, offensive line was able to hold up for the most part. Jordan Love got sacked maybe once or twice in this game. I'm trying to think here. Once again, relatively clean in penalties. Running game looked good with Jacobs. Wasn't dominant, but he was finding holes. He was finding gaps in that defensive line and just really getting some tough yardage, which is encouraging. Receivers had a rough game. Dontavian Wicks had a rough day to start, but he ended up finishing with almost 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love, 3 interceptions. 2 of them, I would say his first 2 were not on him. That third one, definitely bad decision. Potentially took away some points that they could have had. But overall, tough loss. Definitely need to clean up some stuff, but I think you saw everything you wanted to see. The defense showed up, made some big plays, got some sacks, got some turnovers, and then you saw the offense really kind of turn it on when they needed to, which is always encouraging. And for the most part, hopefully everybody's healthy. Dontavian Wicks left with an injury. Christian Watson left with an injury. So hopefully we can get those guys back relatively soon. But all right. Otherwise, I'm going to start wrapping it up here. Just kind of wanted to hit on some key things before I left. And then glad the Eagles got. Yes, absolutely, man. Yeah, man. The Eagles, man, they're just so inconsistent today. What was the score for that game? Did they get blown out? Because, yeah, I mean, 17-point loss to Tampa Bay. Yeah, man. Philly, I don't, I don't think Sirianni is going to survive this season. Maybe he'll make it to the end, but I don't think he's going to be coach. I don't think he's going to be the head coach unless there's a drastic turnaround for this team. Because it just seems like the players just are not responding to him anymore, and they're just so up and down. It's so volatile. So it'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do after this week. They got to change some stuff around. I think some of their stuff on offensively is not working anymore. They're missing some big plays. I don't know if they had some injuries as well. So yeah. So before I go here, let's look at the final scores of some of these games. So Atlanta escapes with a big win against New Orleans, 26-24. Tampa Bay obviously slapped around the Eagles. Cincinnati coming back after a tough loss last week. They beat the Carolina Panthers 34-24. Houston coming from behind on the final couple seconds there to come away with a big divisional win. Indianapolis holding on to win after taking a 17-0 lead. They were able to hold on 27-24. And Green Bay, unfortunately, loses a close one here after trailing 28-0, losing 29-30. Is it 31? Almost forgot the score here. So, but yeah, man. So once again, if you're here at any point watching this, whether it was a couple seconds or like some of the people here watching all the way through, thank you so much. Shout out to C Storm for basically being here from basically the beginning. I appreciate you, man. I know you were working today, so I appreciate you having me on in the background. Hopefully, I was able to entertain you a little bit, give you some distractions from work. But once again, thank you so much. And we will be back for the Sunday night game here in a couple hours. I was trying to get an afternoon game here, but that Packer game kind of trickled into the to the second round here, so I don't want to stream midway through a game. So once again, shout out to everybody. If you're just joining us here, please leave a like, subscribe. We're going to be doing as many games as we possibly can throughout the year and adding some stuff later in the year as well. Some different kind of content. Yeah, that Bengals game. They finally got right, man. They finally won. So 1-3, I think, is their record. So yeah. Hey, man, I'm glad I can do a little bit of play by play for you. Trust me, I've had to be at work not being able to watch the game, so it's actually the first time I was able to see Tom Grassi. I was searching up YouTube, and I was like, man, somebody's gonna be have the game somehow. So I'm glad I can help you out there, brother. Oh yeah, that Ravens game is that tonight. So yeah, man, if you're free, I'm gonna be streaming that game. So it should be a great game. Baltimore, Buffalo, both of those teams seem to be finally getting the kinks out of that offense and defense. So I hope you're around, my friend, and I'll see you in a couple hours, man. So enjoy the rest of your day, man, and I'll see you in a bit. Once again, thank you everybody. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in a couple hours for Sunday Night Football, Bills Ravens. All right. See you.